Baron coming back.
Yeah, no worries.
Gonna need to take trades here, and he's taking really good trades. The Kanye are now pushing in, and is this the time? Ungers needs to get on the attack dance. I mean, he has 70 vills. He's so far at an eco. Put some vills on the attack dance, and this will be even better. He's not switching. He's on XP. The cap is going down. It's getting melted by the buildings here. The longbows are still standing and doing damage.
Does he have enough steam though?
There's not enough
running out though. Yeah. Eaton Bowman, 1.5 fire range once again, coming up truck, being king here, and just even though
drag boxing the Naginatas forward, the Coyotes are trying to move, and the Atoman, he drag boxed the wrong direction, and now the Atomans are getting snared by
Oh my Nagis goodness. Are shredding this right now, and it doesn't look like he's got
11s.
I don't see any of the pikes. Where's the pikes on this fight? The Nagis are just cleaning this entire map up. Coyotes are falling. You got the Ashes getting buffed for the Dino. They've got Ashley attacking. They're absolutely shredding everything here. Yumi don't even need to micro this at this point.
He's going to have to sack off his thrust gears. He has to come to melee here.
Yes.
I don't think he can continue keep microing. Well, he's going to try, wait for reinforcements and try to make it to his blockhouses. The question is, how much damage will he going to be taking? This is nice micro from Ungers, but you know, the Atontons just have to attack move here. And 1.5 fire rate, they do have a staff animation. And the Tontons are absolutely insane. But he has drawn him into the double blockhouse. Now fighting under the double blockhouse. The question is it going to be
Muskets are a little behind here. The Cossacks are now getting snared by the Pumas and the Coyotes. The Explorer is now in with the triple XP tech. Some warriors are mixing. The Atotan's doing absolutely insane amount of damage. He's on plus 36%. Look at him on the attack. That's plus 36%. And he's just
Coyotes on the Strelitz.
Blockhouses are actually doing decent damage here. The Coyotes are kind of going down. The Spears are now trying to move in towards the front, and it's actually a decent fight, I think, for Tabin.
Pretty good fight for Tabin, but you know, there's not very many Cossacks. He's letting a lot of these Coyotes and Pumas kind of shred his Strelitz a bit. Finally getting his Cossacks where they want to be on the Slingers, and gonna be cleaning up.
Here, the ESOCs are out of position. The Carolinians as well, and the ESOCs are gonna go up top. Oh, the tree carrying here. The tree is for Sweden, and there you go. We can see some damage here. The ESOCs are dead. That's quite a lot of mass. The ESOCs coming back from Belgrade. Nah, GG. Optimus, his mass is getting completely clean with the ESOCs. That's gonna be a big snare right there, and there is no way those Carolinians are gonna come out alive.
Maybe should be able to swing this water fight. Yeah, it's so the micro here is so intense. Get in, get back in. Will the Yumi have the chance to snipe him? Look at the ship is at 62 HP.
Oh! Frontline with the god.
Oh no! Oh my gosh, it was insane, and that's GG. Wow, those galleys have such low HP.
He's gonna need to take trades here, and he's taking really good trades. The Kanye are now pushing in, and is this the time? Ungers needs to get on the attack dance. I mean, he has 70 vills. He's so far at an eco. Put some vills on the attack dance, and this will be even better. He's not switching. He's on XP. The cap is going down. It's getting melted by the buildings here. The longbows are still standing and doing damage.
Does he have enough steam though?
There's not enough
running out though. Yeah. Eaton Bowman, 1.5 fire range once again, coming up truck, being king here, and just even though
drag boxing the Naginatas forward, the Coyotes are trying to move, and the Atoman, he drag boxed the wrong direction, and now the Atomans are getting snared by
the Nagis are shredding this right now, and it doesn't look like he's got
11s.
I don't see any of the pikes. Where's the pikes on this fight? The Nagis are just cleaning this entire map up. Coyotes are falling. You got the Ashes getting buffed for the Dino. They've got Ashley attacking. They're absolutely shredding everything here. Yumi
Hello back, people, ladies, gentlemen, people of the sea, whatever you are. If you are an alien, that's fine too. And Baron joining me. I hope you are doing well. Oh wait, the cams are not on. Do we have to restart the cams?
Oh, you're on now.
Oh, there. Here they are.
Here we go.
Damn, Baron coming with the white shirt. You look fine, my mate. How you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, doing very well. I mean, I just did the production for the previous series, but here I got a. I mean, I'm personally looking forward to this series, probably like the most out of the series this round, because we have a treat for you all today. We have Ezad versus SoldieR, two, I think, maybe like very, very top players. Like you might see this kind of series in a semifinal or quarterfinal in any other tournament, but here we have an extremely stacked field, so we see this kind of clash of giants in the round of 16. So
And
very, very
mates,
exciting.
already Ezad. Ezad, I am your biggest fan. Coming in with the OSA. The OSA people are gonna be there. We are gonna see OSA being played. Easy gonna go for native. Easy gonna go for just straight up H2. I cannot wait. And yes, I am enjoying some ice cream. You know, I cannot do any publicity, but I think you will all recognize which one it is. But yeah, Ezad coming in with the OSA while SoldieR is gonna play the good old British, you know, this safe pick. I cannot wait, mate. As you said, this is a fantastic matchup between the two players. Ezad is coming in for the $50 reduce that he didn't got a few months ago during a grudge match, I believe, or a show match. He's coming at SoldieR right there. He wants his dollars, and that's why he's picking OSA first right there.
Yes, and we're not wasting any time. We're already heading into Punjab. So they're in the lobby and we'll be loading it up pretty soon. All right, we're gonna get the predictions ready for you all as well. And what do you think about this matchup, Kanoki? Because I'm not totally sure. I think Brit's obviously a very, very strong civilization in the current meta. But Brits versus Hausa, I think, is maybe not so clear. Hausa, I think, has many different ways of playing this. So what do you think?
To me, the big thing is usually Brit, especially on a map like Punjab, they want to expand on the sides. They want to expand on the map in order to access hunts. But there is the raiders that exist on the side of the OSA, and that's really a big counter, which might force English to play a lot more defensive. And as soon as English doesn't have enough food to sustain themselves, it's not the same sieve anymore. And that's really what I'm looking forward right there by Ezad, to go into those raiders and to really force SoldieR into a way more defensive play style, not being able to go on the entire map, look for multiple hunts at once, etc., etc.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's head into the game then.
Indeed. Game. And ladies and gentlemen, we are in the first game of that round of 16 between Ezad in the red on the left side of the map. He's playing my favorite civilization, the one I love playing in my team games, OSA, and on the other side we have SoldieR in the blue. He's gonna play the good old British right there. And as we were discussing, wait, already going on coin?
Ooh, he likes the market start, I think.
Market start, yeah. That's what it's going to be. Market into 1 or 2 manas. We will see if he can find a wood treasure in order to get a second mana right there. But yeah, as we were discussing, Baron, very interesting matchup. And one of the perks of OSA is to have very fast raiding cavalry, very good against building, very good against villagers as well, which might force English into a more defensive playstyle than they want to. English usually wants to go on some hunts, and OSA is gonna look to basically counter that. It's not the best map for OSA, I have to say, because the natives are not that good. And usually with OSA, you want really good natives because they have extremely strong synergies with them. But instead, here, only one native tribe available, not the best one as well. Still can play native, even without a good native tribe on the field. Let's be clear. OSA can ally by themselves with 3 different tribes, so they should be fine. We're gonna see. OSA became very, very flexible in the past few months, notably the usage of the Fulani archers in order to gather some cows in the commerce age really changed the sieve entirely in the way it's played, and really allowed to go for very greedy, very boomy play style. So really nice to see them, especially on Punjab, on which you have yaks. So sure, the natives are not the best, but the yaks themselves are extremely good for Osa.
Yeah, hold on a second. Am I saying this correctly? It seems like Hausa has gotten 5 of the yaks here, while SoldieR has maybe only gotten 1, maybe not even 1. I mean, that
I think
fast
he got 4.
score.
He got 4. Oh no, 5, 5. You're
5, yeah,
right.
5 for
5
Hausa,
Water Buffalo.
1 for SoldieR,
Oof,
exactly.
that
That's gotta
hurts.
hurt. I mean,
Yeah, it
Hausa's
does.
score is pretty fast, right? So when he goes on the river, he can very quickly pick up all of the
Yeah.
yaks before the Brits Explorer can even get up there. So
It's
Okay.
not Lakota speed, but it is still fast. And we can
Mhm.
see on top of that, one of the let's say bad perks of that explorer is that he's not the best at cleaning treasures early, but we can see here that he's doing a fantastic job. We are going to see a 14 villager edge up, basically edging up in 245 almost. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be, which is a good time for Osa. Osa are quite slow to edge up. We can see here Songhai being picked, and he's gonna go straight onto the gold. Gold. I'm trying to think, but I don't see why he's going on to gold right there. I'm gonna be as surprised as you, I have to say. On the other side, what is SoldieR doing? That's the big question to me. How many manas is he gonna stop onto? He's going up with the governor for a tower and 200 coin. We can see here a villager moving south, a villager moving north. Those villagers, they are looking to put down some manors. Those manors then make sure to herd the hunts toward his base. We can see here another mana coming down. But the thing is, are the raiders gonna be fast enough to come on the field and contest the entire thing? I really wonder why this coin is busy. Oh, that's why he was looking to rush a university. Okay, so he's looking to rush a university. He doesn't have the card that you usually send in transition in order to get a TP and a university right there. So he doesn't have this card. Instead, he's just gonna straight edge up. He hasn't gone for a TP in H1 as well. And instead he's gonna go straight into an H2 card. Does he have the cow card? He doesn't have the cow card as well. So one of the cards that has really revolutionized the way Osa is played is the four cows that you can get early into Commerce Stage, and one of them has 400 extra resources, which is extremely good because you can basically immediately send it. And we can see that instead he's going to go for the Palace of Amina right there, which gives you a palace and 300 influence if I'm correct, while we have a little of a contention right there on the treasure.
Yeah, I'm just overall, right? I don't think SoldieR has had too much experience playing against Hausa in this matchup. So I am wondering, I think he's going to just do what he's comfortable with. Probably start Musketeers in base. Yeah, we see the racks going up behind, steel traps coming in at a very good time, and he's just mining enough, I believe, to finish his first batch of Musketeers here, and then he's bringing the villagers back onto wood and continue that manor production. 700 wood, I believe, comes in first. I think he's gonna follow that up with 600 wood, but actually he's starting with a pike batch. Maybe he wants to have that extra speed and catch the raiders who are inevitably gonna be coming with the Songhai age up.
Indeed, and one of the advantage of the Palace of Amina is that it's going to allow you to get that big button right there. We can see the big button has been clicked. Big button that is going to ship, I believe, 5 raiders from that palace or that TC. There you go, 5 more raiders right there. And 3 raiders at the south, 5 raiders at the north, and you look for villagers alone right there. The 4 pikemen are not going to be enough to basically force completely back those raiders. Nice play though with the vision right there on the side of SoldieR. He has already added 2 hunts into his base on top of his starting hunts, so excellent job by him. I wonder if he got the forward hunt as well, which will be 3 hunts into his base at basically 6 minutes, which is excellent right there, and gonna make sure that Osa pressure is not gonna be as much of an issue. However, only right now on 80 population, because he's investing a lot into those spikes and he cannot invest into manas instead.
Ooh, not quite finishing this second pike batch. It shouldn't hurt too much. Maybe that was deliberate. In addition, though, I really like this manor building from SoldieR. He has so much line of sight in the bottom and top of the map so that he won't be flanked by these raiders. Another interesting thing is that raiders tend to not want to commit under the town center, especially when you have a pretty big mass, like even if you have a pretty big mass of raiders, because they are tagged as a siege unit. And Minutemen have a double multiplier against siege units, so they actually do very, very well against raiders overall. But now we see that Filani shipment has probably come in along with a batch, and now these pikes are in a little bit of danger with so many light infantry on the field here.
Indeed, and we can see the first mana is going to go down. So as Osa, you don't care if your opponent is going to rebuild mana. You are looking for straight tempo, so it's going to feed him some XP right there. It's going to pose some population issue at one point with the British. Sure, it's going to be one more villager down the line in 15 minutes, but I don't think he's that care right there. He is going for a rush. That's clearly the Songhai rush right there that he's going for. And when you go for a Songhai rush, 15 minutes is probably either you already won the game or you basically tapped out already. So he doesn't care right there about sieging manas and they are going to be rebuilt. He just wants the tempo. He just wants the XP right there. But we can see already SoldieR edging up, which I really, really, really like. Edging up to get better tech, better shipments, and to be able basically to deal with a composition that can be a tri-comp basically in H2 on the side of Osa. They can go for Skirm, Goon, and Heavy Cav in H2. That's one of the big perks of Osa. While on the side of SoldieR, he has to go into H3 in order to have access to Goons, which will be able to counter those riders right there.
Yeah, this age up, I think, from SoldieR is a little bit risky because we see a pretty large Hausa mass, right? And if he had committed into SoldieR's base, he would have been idled all this time while he was aging up. But I think Ezad backed up a little bit, bought him some time. And as we mentioned earlier, it's very difficult for these raiders to commit directly under the TC for fear of a Minuteman pop. And now SoldieR ages up with the 8 bows as well, and he's taking a quick early fight. Yep, what were you gonna say, Kanoki?
Yeah, I was gonna say, look at the population, guys. 60 out of 60. So we have someone that is popped. SoldieR is gonna have population issue. We have the second big button of those raiders that has come through, and there is very little in order to defend all of those longbows. The messengers pop on the wrong side. He needs to make sure the musketeer pop on the soft side in order to deal with them, with the raiders right there. We can see the messenger being cleaned by the archers right there. So the raiders are not gonna fall yet, at least. Now we see the musketeer, now we see the dragons, and the raiders have to go back right there. They have to retreat. Nicely defended right there by SoldieR, but only 29 villagers at almost 10 minutes into the game. This is an English player, remember? While on the other side, we have 26 villagers on the side of Ezad, and at the back of this, you have to remember that every cow is basically acting as a villager when you play Osa, and as you can see, there is a lot of cows into the call that are basically like getting more and more value as time goes on. That's why I mean, that's why I say they basically end up being worth a bit less than a villager, but still a lot of eco coming from those cows right there.
Yeah, could you imagine though, just now if the musketeer shipment was instead 5 hussars, I think he might have been able to clean everything there, snare everything, longbow DPS. The Minutemen, as we mentioned, do very well against the raiders. With the correct Minutemen pop and positioning there, SoldieR might have cleaned. Nevertheless, I think this is not a bad position for SoldieR. Yes, he has a lower Vil population than he should at this time for Brits, but he's gone for this very, very fast H3, and he will be getting those veteran techs in pretty soon. And if Hausa can't follow him up in time, maybe SoldieR can exert some pressure.
Indeed, indeed. While I'm trying to fix something on the Discord, Gaius, I don't know if you saw, but the anti-spoiler bar is a little bit too high on the screen, so we can actually see. Just that. Yeah. No problem. No problem. There you go. It should be fine, boys. But yeah, as we can see, one of the big thing that you have to understand around those side guys is that their power spike are gonna be around that big raider button that we can see at the bottom right. He can press it again, but he needs more influence at that point. He has very, very low influence because he hasn't gone for any TP, he hasn't gone for any stagecoach. He only has one university, so that's gonna trickle down very, very, very slowly. Instead, he decided to go for the Leafy. So the Leafy is a heavy cavalry that has double resistance, both versus melee and versus range. They have quite a lot of HP. Not the best cav in H2, it's really in H4 in which they become absolute monster thanks to basically having AoE in H4, which is a very, 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 very good perk, as you can imagine. On the other side, we can see Tricomp, Musketeer, Goons, and Longbows coming up, so very, very nice comp right there. On the side of English. However, there are a lot of archers right there, and yeah, I don't think the longbows can contest all of those archers plus all the heavy cav that is coming behind. Careful though, not to lose the heavy cav against the 10 dragoons that are basically gonna one shot any model they are focusing.
These are veteran longbows, and longbows, when they start DPSing, they just don't stop firing. And this
Yeah.
fight, I don't know, will it go well? Let's see. The hussars are on the archers. The musketeers are in melee trying to defend the longbows. The longbows are just sitting there DPSing. An extra batch of hussars coming in from the back. The musketeers are still alive, cleaning up the raiders, and now it's just hussars versus bows. This might be a great cleanup for SoldieR, but okay,
It
3
will
or 4
be.
hussars left. 2 goons in the back.
It will be
This is the cleanup.
the longbow mass is way too big, and we can see they keep DPSing. The Fulani Archers mass is completely going down. There are still a few aside in order to tank just enough goon in order to deal with the last Leafy Knights. And guys, I believe that's gonna be the GG right there. I don't see how Ezad is gonna be able to bounce back from that. Like Songhai is strong, but it's very all-in as a strategy. You don't have that much eco behind it. And as English just cleaned the army right there, like SoldieR is gonna be fine. Like, can we look at the population on the side of SoldieR? Yeah, we can see 130 population. I wouldn't be surprised if he reached 200 population in like the next 2 minutes, feeling fine, getting 4 more manas, and suddenly reaching like 50, 60 almost villager population very, very quickly right there at the back of this this fight that was won right there. Very, very nicely played here by SoldieR. Yeah, I that's gonna be complicated at least for Ezad right there, especially with the Leafy. I'm not sure about the Leafy shipment. To be fair, usually it's not really a shipment that pays by himself. You really have to train quite a lot of Leafy to make it work. And we could see here the 4 Leafy Knights didn't achieve a lot in this fight, sadly. And now 2 Falconets eating the field. So as long as he has enough heavy cav, those Fulani archers are not gonna enough to deal with the heavy cav. Sorry, the Fulani archer are not gonna achieve a lot on this map.
Yeah, and I think SoldieR there noticed that he cleaned a large heavy cavalry mass from Hausa, so that's why he decided to go for the 2 Falconets. Now he has the kind of body block unit with the hussars. He maybe needs just a few more goons, maybe 1 extra batch of goons, and then I think that is his timing to push. And let's take a look at Ezad's perspective. Is he macroing to age, or what is his game plan here?
I mean, he has to.
Yep, okay, so he is about to age. So
He
there
has
is
to.
the timing, I think, for SoldieR to push pretty soon.
However, he's edging up with Osa, which is not like a criticism. The big thing is when you edge up with Osa, it's a rather slow edge up. It doesn't bring a lot of tempo straight away. It's more about building your base, about building your empire and stuff like that. So I don't think we will see a lot of tempo from that edge up. And as we could see in the north side, and as we are seeing now on the minimap, if you look at the south, I believe SoldieR villagers, they are just moving out towards the hunts. Both south, yeah, you can see here, both south and north of the base. Basically, the British army has access to food, and every time British can feed themselves, they are a scary people. That's the rule of AoE3 right there. So yeah, I'm very worried for Ezad at that point into going further into this game, because I am afraid that English might just out eco basically from this point onward. We'll see if I'm right. We can see SoldieR moving out slowly but very surely. He's getting his veterancy upgrade, I believe, for his SARS at that point. More longbow being trained. What is coming up as a first shipment on the side of Ezad? That's going to be the big question. And how is he spending his influence? We can see Fulani is being shipped. Very good upgrades on the side of Osa. Their upgrades are basically cheaper. They upgrade multiple units at once. So that's always good. The big thing is, yeah, how is Osa going to spend his influence? Is he going to be able to have time to invest into more universities and stuff? Nice raid up north right there, killing maybe a few villagers. Is he going to find more? That's going to be the big question right there. Can he find that batch of villagers? Can he find it early enough? That's the other question. I don't think he can. Will he take the fight? Will he take the fight? He's forced into.
These are out of position though, completely. These raiders. These raiders are just going to get melted by the goons. Some villagers tanking. Do they have their greatcoats on?
Are they? No. As you can see,
SoldieR. What is SoldieR looking at? He's just leaving.
SoldieR doesn't want to fight without its longbows and falconets, and that's why he's pulling back. And suddenly, 10 villagers going down right there, and that might be a comeback raid. However, as I say that, SoldieR pulling back. Oh, I can't believe it. I was sure SoldieR was gonna commit right there with the falconets, with the longbows, but no. He decides to pull back right there. I'm not sure that's a good call, but hey, 47 villager. How many on the side of Ezad? That's the big question at that point. Ezad is on 40 villagers, so honestly, very close equal, because you have to remember that on top of that, there is the influence recall. On top of that, we already talked about it, but there are the cows. He's not using his cows, by the way. Oh, he just sold 500 coin cow. So very, very nicely played right there. You need to not forget the cows. That's very, very important to really mash that button as soon as you are at 100% value, so it can start going up again. And we can see another raid right there. A game with Osa is never finished, because there are those raids that can just catch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 villagers left, right, and center, and that's what is happening right there. Oh, he's not gonna kill any villagers right there though. He's gonna pull back instead, and yeah, once again, SoldieR doesn't want to take that fight yet. Nice contestation on the center of the map. We can see a big blob of red moving north side of the map. Once again, more raids coming up. Good luck to our production team to follow all of those raids and to catch all of these villagers going down. Meanwhile, the longbow mass is pushing forward slowly but very surely. But there is already a palace ready to basically say hello and counter the push.
I mean, Ezad is playing this perfectly, I think, because he knows he's in a worse position going into H3. So what he wants to do is to run his cavalry around with multiple groups, which is what he's doing. Buy time for his techs to come in, for his veteran upgrades to come in. But on the other hand, SoldieR now has cav combat on his hussars. So these are some beefy Huss. 432 HP, 40 hand attack. And as I was seeing in the chat, these hussars now beat 2 out of 3 of the units that Hausa is making. They beat Raiders, they beat Fulani, and these longbows will shred these Javelin Riders. So if SoldieR can make this timing happen, a huge batch of pikes and Huss coming in, but Ezad is just walking around the army. Maybe he's posturing for a surround here, or he's just going for SoldieR's base.
I think he's pursuing for us around. The big question is, what is Ezad gonna pull out? Oh, we can see some Leafidis in the south. He's gonna go for even more raids. I think he's looking for a base trade and maybe commit onto the reinforcement. Can we look at the center of the map, please? Where is the army of Ezad moving? I really like this positioning by Ezad, because basically he's saying, if you go north, my army, if you go south to counter the raid, my army is north, and I'm gonna collapse on your forward villager right there. And that's exactly what is happening. Very, very nicely played. The Falconets are completely out of position. The cavalry as well is completely out of position, and that's going to be a big raid once again. Also, a lot of damage onto those longbows. Man, I love Osa. Man, I love this composition right there. We can see with the raiders. Finally, SoldieR is turning back, but is that too late? We can see a falconet is going to go down as well. There you go. Maybe a second falconet is going to go down. Already 10 villagers are down. Behind this, the goons are finally coming in. The Osars are finally coming in. But isn't that too late already? Maybe not, because a lot of pikemen are gonna deal with the red cavalry right there.
No, these are cav combat hussars. The longbows are SoldieR is microing this decently. I think that's a lot of pikemen. The Hausa cavalry should get shredded, and then these cav combat hussars will come in from the back, I think SoldieR took a very poorly positioned fight, but he still has the mass. He still has the better units with the cavalry upgrades. And again, I think SoldieR is winning this fight, but has he lost too much eco? He is down to 42 villagers. 5 minutes ago, I think he was on 57. So he's lost maybe 10, 15 villagers in the past couple of minutes. And that is not where Brit wants to be, but he's pushing Hausa back into his base. He's cleaned up his mass, and maybe he can force enough idle time and cause enough damage here to just end the game.
Careful though, because a big goon shipment is coming in behind. We can see also a big batch of goon is gonna pop, so that might be a bad surprise. On top of that, there is the Songhai button, so he could go for the Songhai button as well in order to counter push. That's exactly what he's doing right there. We can see the goons, they are popping in the soft side once again onto the villager. The Songhai button, is it gonna pop soft side as well? No, it's gonna pop onto VTC. 3 villagers might get picked off, but that's not enough to compensate for all of the villagers that died onto the side of the English. And the big thing here is English will run out of food. Finally, he will run out of food, because yes, the entire north side of the map is completely contested. All of the berries, all of the hunts on the north side cannot be accessed. Maybe there is a hunt at the back of this. Can we look a little bit on the right, please? Yes, there is still a hunt. So okay, so English is not out of food yet. I thought that hunt was already exhausted, so he will be able to keep up for at least a minute or two more, but not much longer. And that's going to be an issue, because all of that composition, as we can see, a lot of pikes, a lot of longbows, but those SARs, which are the real damage dealer right there, the real hammer in this comp, they are soon not going to be a viable option because of the lack of food.
Yep, SoldieR now amassing more pikemen, shipping in yeomen, so these longbow are now going to have 26 range. They will be far outranging the Fulani, even after the Fulani upgrade. So here, I guess SoldieR has another timing. He has a 10 batch of pikes in queue and a batch of hussars, and I want to see him doing some more damage with his superior mass right now. But I think Hausa is starting to have the superior economy, actually, with all of those cows that he's been training, with all of that cattle, and even now with an equivalent or roughly equivalent villager population as well. But this massive Jav Rider mass is not going to trade well against so many longbows here with yeomen, with veterancy. So yeah, let's see how this game plays out. I think it's nowhere close to being over, despite SoldieR having crushed 2 big fights so far.
I love how SoldieR is moving onto the map right there. We can see that basically, as I said, he was going to run out of hunts on the south. What does he do? He moves his entire army towards the north after exhausting the entire south, and now he's going to secure the hunts in the north. Very, very nicely played. While, can he secure a raid?
This would be a huge raid. The Hausa army is nowhere near, but he doesn't scout it yet. He doesn't see those hunts.
Damn.
Oh, no.
sad right there. We can see a raid is coming at the south right there. A few raiders, they are being spotted obviously by a mana, but that's not going to be enough. A few villagers are going to go down once again. The big question is the army going to be forced to react? No, because just a few SRs are going to deal with no issue, without any trouble with those raiders, and so Ezad is forced onto the retreat. The big thing is, what is the next big power spike on the side of Ezad? Because those raiders, as the game goes on, mate, they are not gonna cut it. We can see here the upgrade, okay, for his mounted goons right there, his mounted javeliniers. But what I would love to see at that point is some falconets on the side of Ezad, but I am not sure he has enough influence eco in order to do so. It would require at least 2 TP with stagecoach, with some influence right there in order to sustain such production of falconets. Yeah, the raiders really like those few packs. I really like those few packs because you are never gonna make enough goons in order to deal with raiders, you know, because you're gonna overkill anyway, and raiders are too cost effective. But those spikes, they really put a stop on your raider dream. Basically, you just cannot dive into the mass of pikemen that are now present. On
another raid going down from the bottom right. Are they gonna find any villagers? There are lots of villagers chopping there. He sees them for sure. Hopefully SoldieR notices. A bit of a slow reaction here, but he notices now, pulls them back. probably just send a couple pikes there, leave 5 pikes there just to clean up this mass. You don't have to chase it with all of your cavalry, in my opinion. You just want to keep a couple pikes to defend against the raids, but keep your mass in the front line so that you can do the damage against Hausa's main army here. But again, I mean, longbows beat Skirmgoon, and that's what Hausa has here. So I wonder what will happen once Hausa runs out of resources, right? Food is running scarce on their side of the map as well. They're even drying up the hunts to the north above that river. And once that happens, I mean, it'll be equal. It'll just depend on who can transition better. And I think generally these African civs have a pretty weak transition onto farms, while Brits can very, very quickly, with their wood market upgrades, with all their villagers who are already macroed on wood, transition onto mills. So I think SoldieR will have another advantage, or an opportunity for an advantage at that point. But here he is already pushing the issue, sieging these walls with his longbow, and maybe... Oh, another huge raid in the north! We completely missed that! 10 cavalry combat hussars killing villager after villager. Look at that Vil pop just plummet. He was on like 43, 44 Vils like 8 minutes ago, I think. So that was probably an 8 or 9 villager raid just now. And that is a huge opportunity for SoldieR to come back, as long as he does not get cut off and killed by these javelin riders who are here to pursue. And actually 2 Lafidi knights on the north as well might be going in for a big snare. But SoldieR or Ezad not paying attention, because there's a big fight happening in the middle of the base. SoldieR's pushed in.
Indeed. SoldieR is pushing in. SoldieR is pushing in right there because he saw that all of the goons were at the north side of the map. However, there are a lot of towers. There is a TC as well in order to put some damage. Fulani batch! Fulani batch! Oh no! He didn't have enough food right there, so he got a 2 Fulani batch basically instead of potentially 10. So that might seal the deal right there. We can see on the big batch of Ezad what was being caught, only 2 died. So all of the Ezads are coming into the base right now, and Osa is in a world of trouble because all of those spikes are gonna siege everything in no freaking time. That's way too many longbows. We can see the javelin riders, they don't have the range in order to deal with them. Longbows are shooting, longbows are firing, and things are dying. That's the recipe right there for disaster. When you are playing Osa, all of the villagers are dying, and mate, I believe that's gonna be the GG very soon on the side of Ezad. Very nicely played right there by SoldieR. Extremely nice play.
This first game, I feel like all the stops were already pulled. These players were APM like crazy. These pikes right now in guard mode, soaking shots from the javelin riders, while the longbows DPS from behind. The hussars are left uncontested on the left-hand side because the javelin riders are getting zoned off by the longbows and by the pikes, who are just now going into melee against them, getting a couple picks for free. The pikes on the javelin riders, the hussars on the Fulani. This is perfect positioning from SoldieR, and Ezad caused the GG here. Wow, what a great, amazing first game of the series.
Yeah. At that stage into the game, like as we said earlier in the game, the Songhai rush is a very, very good rush, but it has to do damage. It has to do crippling damage, and it wasn't the case. And as pointed out in the chat, as you move forward and forward into the game, comes a point where just Fulani and Javelin Riders is not enough. You need to get those special units, you need to get the Akans, you need to get that AoE for your cav that is in H4, you need to have access to those Falconets, you need your influence to start rolling in, and that wasn't the case. And it's not bad play on the side of Ezad. It's just that he tried a particular strategy, which is to be very aggressive in H2, but it's something that really, really cripples you when you go further into the game as you play Osa, for many, many reasons. Nicely played, though. Very, very nicely played.
All right, I'm going to run a quick advertisement while we wait for the next game, but please continue, Kanoki.
Yeah, no problem. But yeah, I will be as well very, very curious, John Julio, about Brit win rate, because it's clearly one of the most stable Civ in tournaments. At least it never disappoints. That's one thing. You always have good games with Brits, very close games. It's never a Civ that basically plummets into doing nothing. So very, 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 very good game right there.
Ooh, game 2 Civ picks are out. SoldieR picking first here because he won the first game and he picked Ottomans. And SoldieR recently on the ladder, I've seen him laming a lot of Bato, doing their FI, doing this Spahi semi. And on the other hand, Ezad counterpicking with the British, so we'll have another British game. And I think Brits generally does okay versus Ottoman. They just have so much mass and so much eco that sometimes they can kind of absorb the Ottoman tempo and then come out behind with the superior economy and just superior mass. But I think this is still a close matchup. SoldieR has been really, really experimenting and practicing his Ottoman builds. So I'm very excited to see this one as well. I'm sure the second game will be another absolute banger.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as well. As you said, British against Ottoman usually going in favor of British in this matchup. We already saw it yesterday. So I'm pretty like Ezad clearly counterpicked right there the Ottoman of SoldieR. Why is British usually good into Ottoman? Simply because the mana boom. You can go into very precise, I would say, mana boom. You make sure that your opponent cannot kill you, and as long as Ottoman cannot kill you, you're gonna have triple vehicle basically, or at least double. And it's really really hard to win a game of Age of Empire, whatever opus of the series you are playing with. 2 times less eco than your opponent. So yeah, that's usually why Brits is so good into this matchup. However, it's gonna be Scandinavia, and SoldieR might go on water. That could be an option right there in order to counter Ezad. Also, one big mistake that we saw yesterday being done by the British player is to put your production building forward. I wouldn't be surprised if Ezad stays very defensive with his Zarax. He stays very defensive with his stables in order to make sure his infrastructure is not being contested early into the game, because that really sealed the deal yesterday in the same matchup.
Yep, definitely, definitely. And I don't think this is the best map for Brits. I think the hunts are a little bit spread out, right? So it's possible that, I mean, if Ottoman goes on water and Brits runs out of hunts quickly, that the economies can actually equalize quite early in the game. On the other hand, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, there's depending on how the TPs spawn, maybe SoldieR can even go for an early stagecoach play. If there's safe
Yes.
TPs behind your town center, that's another option here. So I think we have to see how the map kind of forms up, where the hunts are before we can make any real predictions, because this is going to be a close game, in my opinion.
Indeed. And as we could see, Arison with the big donation in the chat, giving a sub to Young DM69. Maybe he's interested by the 69. That's why he gave a donation right there. We are gonna jump very soon into that game too. I think we presented the matchup enough. As soon as we are ready, Gaius, tell us if we are jumping into this game. I cannot wait. That first game was so cool, so exciting. Very nice play on both sides, really. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Game 2 on the soft side in the red. Ezad is gonna play the English right there. The British, sorry. I saw some of your comments, guys, ladies, gentlemen, people of the sea. I saw your comments. He's calling the British English. Oh, la, la, la. I know. Hey, come on, guys. I'm trying my best, you know. And on the other side, we have Ottoman in the blue, which is something that really pains me to see Ottoman in the blue. But hey, that is going to be played by SoldieR. We can see already the mosque being placed, the first TP being placed. And the big question is going to be, as soon as they pick deck, is it going to be a water boom in transition? We can see that he's very lucky with his spawn, actually. I talked quite extensively about tree lines in the previous series, and you can see that he has a lot of trees into his base, which is absolutely perfect when you want to go into a water boom, which is usually not a feature of this map. If we look at Ezad base, I'm quite sure the trees are going to be much further away from the TC than it is the case for SoldieR. Yeah, you can see like a lot less trees. But yeah, very good. I would say spawn on both sides, to be fair. Good spawn when it comes to trees. So we're gonna see here if SoldieR is gonna commit into water.
So I've been watching SoldieR play Ottoman a lot recently, and generally he likes to go capitalism and not chop for a house in age 1. But here we see that he is indeed chopping for a house. In fact, maybe even okay, yeah, so here he is chopping for his house. So we expect the 3 villagers coming in, which it is. And this is not his standard FI deck, so I don't think an
No,
FI
for
works
sure.
against British. That's just too much time to give Brits to boom to their heart's content, get out their superior mass. However, what will we be seeing? Will we be seeing some age 3 pressure, maybe with the Jan Falks and Spahi and Mameluke shipments? Or what will we be seeing here? So he doesn't even have Mamelukes in his deck, but he does have that 5 Spahi and 5 Delhi. So there are still some of those game-ending GG shipments in H3.
Indeed. Also, yeah, he has the mosque upgrade, but I don't see the mosque discount. So that is very surprising to me. Usually you want both. The only usage I could see of that is basically to get the last Sipais from the church card on top of the armor upgrade. For sure, he's not gonna get the Nizams. Like paying over 2,000 wood for the Nizams would be absolutely crazy. So yeah, as you said, we are gonna see a more standard approach. It's likely gonna be Stagecoach because of the safe 2 TP behind his base. And on the other side, no TP on the side of Ezad, just a straight mana boom that we all know and love. And he's gonna try to simply outmass his opponent. And every second that SoldieR is gonna basically give to Ezad, Ezad is gonna be further and further and further ahead when it comes to eco.
Yep, absolutely.
That
So
was
no
not good.
water is an interesting thing. So that is, I think, off the table. SoldieR has no water decks here.
Yeah.
He will be probably somewhat getting a TP in transition or with his 400 wood age up. But so as you mentioned, Stagecoach play is definitely doable here.
Look how greedy Ezad is. He went for triple mana in H1. He's just gonna start edging up
Wow.
to 50. Usually you don't do that, yes. You edge up much sooner. So he's getting extra greedy right there with the extra villager, and I believe he's gonna go even more greedy. As we can see, every villager on wood. Let's go. He's gonna go for as many manas as he can. I think he's not afraid at all of the Janissary push that could come in. And yeah, he's just gonna go pure greed. He's gonna go for very forward mana right there. In order to spot any of those raids. And is he gonna even lame the hunt? Now he's not gonna lame the forward hunt, the one on the right side. He's gonna just pull the one on the left side and secure one of the most contested hunt on the map right there. Very nice play. I really like that by Ezad right there. To go for those forward hunts when you play English is super important.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have never seen SoldieR do this build. I mean, I've lobbied with him maybe 20 times over the past couple weeks and watched maybe the same amount, and I've never seen SoldieR do this build that he's doing now with the Ottomans. He has 12 builds on wood, chopping 250 wood. What is he cooking up here? Okay, has he researched Stagecoach or what? The wood just disappeared. Oh no, he built a second TP there in
Second
transition.
TP, yeah, it's gonna be a Stagecoach that's gonna come very soon. So Stagecoach is gonna basically provide him with the equivalent of 8 villager on wood, which is fine. But the thing is, he needs to do a lot of damage extremely fast because once again, British, they are gonna mana boom, and once the mana boom is big enough, it's gonna be very hard to stop the English flood. Of Musketeer. Basically, we can see already 4 manas, I believe, maybe 5. 4 manas, only 4 at the moment, but a lot more to come, that's for sure, while the doggy is skirting the house. But yeah, basically looking for praise. And those Janissaries is soon gonna come out and look to pressure those forward villagers.
Yep, absolutely.
People are saying, no, it's fine when it comes to the sound, so it should be fine when it comes to the sound. Apparently, I'm a bit low. It's also because I'm talking a little bit lower, guys. So I'm gonna try to do a nice job of getting closer to the mic as I speak lower and going further away as I raise my voice. We can see Village up right there with the governor. It's gonna be a forward governor with a forward rack. So as I said yesterday, it was one of the recipe for disaster. Against Ottoman, because Ottoman can contest with a lot of Janissaries early. So I'm not sure about this play, but we will see if it's working this time for the English player. On the other side, we have the stagecoach as we announced, and we have 700 wood coming behind this in order to unlock a second production, military production building, some upgrades, some gathering upgrades, and a lot of houses, basically. So that's going to be the play right there. You can see the racks already being up on the side of the English. The two villagers are going to jump onto the mine, and Ezad is going to train some longbows straight away. I really like this because anything that can contest this racks is basically food base. He just saw that his opponent is going for racks, so he doesn't have to fear the daily. Even if there are dailies coming, it's only 3, so it's not going to be that big of a threat. So I really like this play to start with longbows and then 5 longbows and then go into 5 musketeer. Really like this.
Yep, so let's see what SoldieR's second military building would be. I expect potentially a second racks, but maybe he'll do some Jan Abus. I have no idea how you generally play into this.
Into Janabus?
Yeah, do you do
As
Jan
English?
Abus against
Oh.
English? That seems odd.
I mean, the thing is, we saw yesterday Janabus worked because there were no longbows. But the thing is, as soon as there are too many longbows are going to do very fine versus Janabus. And usually it's more... and also the Janissaries, it's not a composition that ages up very well. Because Janissaries are not going to do enough damage versus the SR once you reach H3, once Cav combat comes in on the side of the English. So usually you want to go more into Cav Archers Abus as the game goes forward. But yeah, we will see what they go for right there. We can see the first batch of Janissaries are coming out. The longbows are going to put some pressure, as we said. No basically stable on the field outside of the 3 dailies. I don't even know if he has the card. There is no threat for those longbows. Yes, he has the card, but we can see that English is not concerned at all right there. Then we have the batch of musketeer. There you go. The longbows are safe from the potential cavalry, and at that point he can just look to poke and do some damage on the villagers.
Yeah, absolutely. So he is adding this artillery foundry, so he probably wants some Abus. The issue is with longbows, right? They can't kite, and against very tanky infantry like Janissaries, if he has a superior massive Janissaries, as compared to the British musketeers, they can kind of just walk through your musks and just DPS the longbows directly. And I think this is why generally in Brit mirrors, you kind of have a similar situation. You tend to want to overmake musk and not really add that many longbows, because the musketeers can just walk in and kill your opponent's longbows. So
completely agree. But until you have enough musketeer to protect basically your longbow. So that's the thing. That's a balancing act right there. Like the Ottoman composition has the advantage. Like in 1 or 2 minutes, he's gonna have the advantage, but in 5 minutes he doesn't. That's the thing. So you have that small window that you really have to utilize right there. You know, when you get your first 5 Abus on the field and you have like 15 to 20 Jans, that's the moment that you want to eat. You know, 5 to 10 Abus, 15 to 20 Jans is really the timing you are looking for right there. If you are playing Ottoman, no, that villager cannot die.
Oh, that's unfortunate. 7
that
villas
hurts.
idled as well here.
That hurts so much. That hurts so much because, like, Ottomans have very few villagers in the early game. He went greedy with a 3 villager shipment and then 5 villager shipment, so that's not gonna hurt as much as usual. But still, it really hurts to lose villagers early when you are playing a sieve like Ottoman. And we can see here he's gonna ship more coins, so he's clearly looking to badge those Abus. And I really like that batch of Longbowmen. Sure, it costed him maybe a mana or two. I believe that's the cost of almost 2 manas right there. But man, those longbows made sure that Janissaries cannot pressure forward, Janissaries cannot raid, they kill the villager. Those 5 longbow really paid for themselves at this point. They forced some other time, really like this little batch of longbows right there.
So is Soldier shipping 3 husks now, or is he shipping 700 coin? Let's see which shipment Soldier.
Musket. Oh, SoldieR,
Yeah,
yeah.
700 coins. So he
700.
wants to probably batch a little bit more, Abus and Jans, and then look for a timing. Because he does have
Yeah.
steel traps, so his eco is actually not that bad on food. So by shipping the 700 coin, it'll help him finish this double batch of Jans and Abus, which will be good. I expect him to follow that up with 3 deli and do a pretty large delayed timing with those units.
Indeed. Gaius, can we try to get the game speed a little bit up, because it seems like it's a little bit low. So if we can. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So
So I
after
think-
this game, guys, we are gonna restart in order to get that to try to get the game speed up to speed, basically. Yeah, you were saying, Baron. Sorry.
Yeah, I think moving on, maybe we can restart between each game, because I think the first game was totally fine. But I mean, AoE3 does have some known issues with performance with
Yeah.
subsequent with like consecutive games. So but no worries. I think this
Indeed.
is still still good.
And we can see here the gold finally hitting the field. He needs to get that gold, to gather that gold in order to get more of those abuse gunners, these abuser gunners, as some people in the community call them. And as we said a bit earlier, there are not a lot of musketeers right there to screen the potential longbows. 6 musketeers coming from the shipment, I believe, but that's not a lot. He has less than 20 musketeers. It is soon to be the same number of Janissaries on the other side, and soon to be 10 abuse guns. So yeah, SoldieR shipping up to have a timing soon enough. While on the other side, we can see English only on 120 population. So it doesn't have that many villagers lead. Already 12. Obviously, it's still English, but it's not that big of a gap at that timing in the game. So SoldieR massing up nicely. Lost a villager sadly, but we'll have to see in 1 minute if he can push out and do critical damage to the English.
All right, we're
Yeah,
gonna
we
have to cast, I think, 1.2 times slower as well, so that we can draw out our words, and you guys can maybe make your brains work 1.2 times slower, so it seems like everything is going in normal speed. Not a big
Man,
deal.
if there is one thing I hate in this world, is people that talk slow. I swear.
Yeah.
I
Okay, so I
I
should
te-
start.
I love people in general, but people that talk slow, mate. Ah, ah. I have, a special feeling for them. I want to choke them. To be fair, it's kind of a murder spot that I have for them, and I don't know if I should be proud and if I should share that with you guys. But we can see an H3 is gonna come up on the side of SoldieR. So he's looking not to go in with that mass, but to use that mass in order to protect a few falconets, very likely in the next stage. We can see the abuse gunners. They are moving forward. They are gonna shoot. 1, in 2, in 3.
Oh. Okay, this is.
No.
uh, no, we're like watching. Yeah. Yeah, it is getting a bit bad now. Do you want to maybe just try restarting now and hop back into the game? This is a bit unwatchable, I think.
Yeah, this is getting really, really slow.
Yeah, let's try to restart now and get it back. So I'm gonna do a quick ad break then. This is perfect. We're gonna milk the fact that this game is going slow. So I'm initiating a 90-second ad break. Go watch those ads, support the stream, and we'll be back with you guys briefly.
Yeah. I like the ESOC now using PowerPoint. Indeed, guys, indeed. So it's not because of the stream, guys. It's just an Age of Empires 3 issue. Sometimes, yeah, the memory can leak from game to game, and then you have very, very, very slow records, basically recording. So We are just gonna restart the thingy, and then we are gonna be back on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Why are we sending Oreo ads? Hey mate, what you have to know is that ads are tailored towards the people that receive them. So if you are receiving Oreo ads, it's because the Google thinks that you like Oreos and that you might buy them. So you shouldn't look at us and blame us. You should blame yourself. That's what I'm gonna say. But
Yeah.
don't worry for the predictions, guys. We are gonna jump right into the same game, right into the same game, and we are gonna speed it up, hopefully, towards the same time. Like the time was moving way too slow at that point. So yeah, I have to say I really don't like Oreos. Do you like Oreos, Baron? Or what is your
I think when
your
I was
snack of choice?
a child, I really enjoyed Oreos, but for the past maybe 5 years or so, I don't think I've had Oreos a single time. Unfortunately,
Mate.
it's just a bit too sweet for me.
For me, it was the granolas. I have to say,
Yeah.
man, you know that they had that big pack, and they were into those small little plastic bags, and in each plastic bags you had 8 granolas. And man, if there is one thing for sure, is that sometimes you were like, oh, I'm just gonna eat 1 granolas. And as soon as you open that pack of 8, you can be sure it's gonna be finished in the next 15 minutes. That was the truth about granolas, guys. And
Yeah.
I am sure people in the chat can relate to that. I am sure you can.
Oh, by the way, just Gaius, maybe we can just not stream on Discord and just we can watch the stream on Twitch and do it like that, because this is probably just more resources for the PC. If
Yeah.
that's okay with Kanoki.
No, no. Let's stay on 7. Ah, you mean on Discord? Yeah. On Discord, you can put it down. Yeah, you can put it down on Discord. Yeah, we will have a lot of delay on Twitch, which is not good. So I would prefer to still have it even in low quality on Discord. I see Baron as his glasses, so it's not going to be an issue for him. But for me, it might be. I'm not sure if with my age I can see through those pixels in order to read the game properly.
Yeah.
We are just.
I can stream on stream on Discord and observe the game as. Oh, actually, I missed it this time, but next time I can stream on Discord and for me and Kanoki, but then we can still watch the.
So, Baron, we can play a little game right there. The goal
Okay.
is to do the exact same cast that we did before, but just faster.
I don't remember anything I said, but
me neither.
we should be able to speed this part up, right?
It is spinning up, but there is no real fast forward. So yeah, it's gonna go faster, but we cannot just jump straight right in. So like it opens up Google in installment. Oof, that's rough, guys. Be gentle, please, with the production team. They are doing their best, and thank God they are here, because otherwise that would be a pain in the ass to do all of the stuff they are doing in the background. So yeah, the game is gonna just resume right there. We are just gonna advance as fast as possible towards the same position. I believe we were at 9 minutes. So basically, we had an Ottoman player that was going into H3. So what we could be looking at is potentially a 2 Falk shipment, which is, I believe, the most likely. Or we could be looking, or he could be looking for a big Sipai shipment, but I am less inclined to think that's going to be his play. I think he's just going to go for the facts.
Yeah, I think Falconets definitely work well. We saw that Brit hadn't added a stable yet, I believe. So if they're just batching infantry, definitely Falconets is the right idea there, I think.
Indeed. And you can can see. Oh, we missed that little treasure contestation actually during the previous cast. I don't know what were the resources right there that it got because of the resolution. It was a tame wolf. Oh, okay, so that wolf came from here. Nice,
Yeah, I think
nice.
the wolf.
Yeah. Nice. Behind that, thanks to the wolf, he was able to get the bear. He was able to kill the bear to get a little bit more wood, while the explorer on the side of Ezad was forced back. So very nice early contestation right there between the two players. Are there other things that we missed? Yeah, he got even another treasure right there in front of Ezad. So really, the Ottoman player, we didn't really picked up on it, but absolutely bodied. SoldieR absolutely bodied Ezad in H1, to be fair. So nicely played by him. Nicely played. And we can see Ezad with the crack shot. He's gonna try to get that treasure, but that treasure takes a long time to get because those guys, those witch hunters, they are very, very tanky. So yeah, they usually take a while to take down, and he doesn't have that many HP. No, I don't believe he lost his explorer in H1. So yeah, we are already on 3 times the speed, guys. We are trying our best to basically speed up this game up to where we were. We can see we are already at 4 minutes, while before it would have been maybe only 2 minutes 40. So we are going faster. Don't worry, guys. Tuck. Baron, help me with this. I'm doing my best in order to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what did we miss the first time around, maybe. I mean, the quartermaster age up. He dropped the racks. He dropped a artillery foundry. I remember the tower went to the middle. He started racks. Made a batch of longbows first. Sniped the Vil on that gold mine, and now I'm just predicting the game. So actually, just crop out everything before and just start from now, and just pretend like I'm predicting every action perfectly here.
Man, what I'm doing right now is that I'm setting myself up. You know, I have both of my feet onto my desk. And I'm just enjoying the show,
Yeah.
Just all I need is a beer, and I would be in a perfect situation right there. Like really.
Get a beer.
Yeah.
Get another scoop of ice cream as well.
No.
No more ice
Not
cream.
no more. Maybe
Yeah.
after the series, yes, but not
Yeah.
during it. That's for sure. But and yes, Ryan Neto, we restarted the game simply because it was going too slow on our side. The players, however, didn't restart the game, so it's perfectly fine on their side. And we are soon gonna be at the same point we were previously. We can see those longbows. Look at them! They are doing a marathon right there, running faster than yesterday. They went to the gym in between the 2 games, and now they are ready to go. Same with those musketeers. Look at them moving. I don't know if that's is that the song? I can't remember if that's the
What song is this? I haven't heard this.
No, it's not the song. It's not the song that I'm
You
thinking
gotta
of.
keep singing. I mean, keep the viewers singing here.
It's a rock ballad instead that I'm singing right now.
I see.
Basically, it's a rock classic, which I cannot remember the name of, but maybe someone in the chat will pick it up.
Oh, that was the Vil that went down.
Yeah,
Sorry
indeed.
to interrupt, but oh, the second Vil. Oh no. Wait, did he use 2 or just 1? Wait, I think we only. I heard 2 villager dying sounds, but
Damn.
yeah, I think it was probably 2.
So guys, the previous game was just restarted because it was going too slow in terms of the replay on our side. So now we can enjoy the game at a proper speed. We are at 7 minutes. We already saw that part of the game. So that's why we are casting a little bit more lightly. We can see here some small pressure. And we are soon going to be at the exit slot. Oh, guys.
No,
it
shouldn't.
The game not to stop, but it shouldn't. In theory, we will see. We can see here the Abuse Gunners just gonna abuse their opponents right there. That's the goal, at least, of the Abuse Gunners. Tack, and normally SoldieR is gonna go into an H3 for transition. Did it stop? Oh, it stopped. Oh.
Did it really? Wait, I've never had this happen before. Oh, okay, that's unfortunate.
Oh.
Let's see.
Guys, rip in the chat. Rip in the chat. Damn, boy. No. Oh, such.
All right, so I guess we can just spoil the the result here. So Ezad managed to tie it up there. I think SoldieR maybe the two vills he lost earlier didn't. Well, it was just too much, and going into H3, he didn't have the necessary tempo to bring the series to bring the game to a close there for SoldieR. And I'm just guessing that eventually Ezad just managed to outscale there. So let's go into game 3, I guess. Yes.
Sniff, guys. Sniff, guys. Yeah. And Ezad winning, as you said, Baron probably outscaled SoldieR, probably survived the push, the H3 push that was coming, and then outscaled. Sadly, we will never see the end of that game. The end of that game will stay secret, and we will jump straight into game 3. What is going to be the matchup? We still don't know yet. Sad face.
We have Aztec for SoldieR, and what is it for India for Ezad? So Ezad playing his main civilization while SoldieR picking the Aztecs. And this is on the what is the name of that map again? Bengal, right? So it's an extremely so no TP map, and I think Aztec are extremely strong here. India obviously also pretty good. Worked out well last series, but I think Aztec is the king of no TP maps right now in the current meta.
Yeah. Aztec very often played. However, one thing for sure is that Aztec relies on an H2 pressure that is really hard to basically apply when you are playing against an Agra fort. So I cannot wait to actually see how it's gonna go. One of the things though is that the Agra fort is usually gonna be placed back. Otherwise, it's gonna be siege quite early, I believe. So we'll see right there how it's gonna go. I can't wait honestly to see this matchup because I haven't seen it a lot in the competitive on the competitive scene. I don't know about you, Baron, but I'm quite certain that India has a very good chance here of pulling a win, especially on a map with so many yaks.
Yes. I think it really depends on how many yaks they get in age 1, and also on how like whether or not they can get the early Agra fort down and repel the early Aztec pressure that is inevitably gonna come. I think SoldieR might do something a little bit atypical, and he's going to do the quick Jaguar timing, like the 3:45 to 4-minute timing in your base, followed by the what is it called, the Warrior Priest boom. But let's see. I think we're ready to go into the game here. So
I think we are. Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, game 3 is starting right there in the northwest. In the red, we have Ezad that is going to play India. Excellent counter pick into blue corner. SoldieR playing as Aztec on the northeast of the map. So yeah, chat is confirming that India is a very good counter pick against Aztec. However, never discount Aztec. One of the civilizations that has access to the most shipment per minute, and shipments give flexibility. So they might be able to adapt. However, India, same thing. A very flexible sieve that can go into many directions. Already picking up a first treasure right there. He's going to pick up maybe a second treasure. Is he going to stop on that? Or is he going to go north for that second big treasure right there with the 4? Yeah, there you go. That big coin treasure would be a lot more juicy. Remember those Indians explore, they got that AoE, which makes them extremely good against those camp as well, on top of being able to grab some yaks. So nicely played right there. on both sides. Ezad, though, he's doing a very good job at dodging the yaks, I have to say. He hasn't gotten many yet, and meanwhile, we can see SoldieR on the minimap. His Explorer is doing a fantastic job at grabbing the yak, actually. So, yeah, Ezad, he's just running where the yaks are not. Only got 2. Baron, are you still with us? Or did we
Yes,
lose?
I am still with you. I was just taking a look at chat because it looked like the stream was lagging out a bit, but I think it's fine. Sorry about that. But
No problem.
so how many yaks do we have? I'm trying to pay attention to the stream, but I can't quite tell where the white dots are. My apologies. I think we have three yaks for India, and how many for soldiers so far?
It's 2 yaks on the side of India, and SoldieR basically has the entire rest. I'm pretty sure because he already bring 2 to 3 into his base, like we can see here, two yaks into his base, and his Explorer has 1 or 2 yaks behind him. So yeah, we can see 3 yaks in total on the side of Aztec. He's gonna pick another one right there towards the south. There you go. He just picked another one, and there is one last yak available on the map. And I believe, the Indian Explorer is going the other way right there. He's going to miss it. I believe there is one on the pond. Yeah. Sad right there. Side right there for him. While the Aztec Explorer is going to try to get this treasure. Can the Indian Explorer actually steal the treasure? I don't think so. The Aztec Explorer is an absolute beast, and he's going to absolutely demolish him despite being beaten by a lion at the same time. So that's how strong the Aztec Explorer is at that stage of the game.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised that with India having 2 explorers, they weren't able to get the massive cows that they would have liked, because I mean each cow I believe gives India 0.12 experience points, or so I guess like 4 or 5 of them is like half a TP, right? Or like maybe like almost as much as a church. So it's a bit unfortunate that they didn't get as many yaks or water buffaloes as they could have with the 2 explorers. But on the other hand, I mean, Aztec also has that early Eagle Scout, right?
Exactly.
So that scout also definitely helped out SoldieR here to get the massive water buffaloes. So I think SoldieR is in a decent position here. What is he doing? He's aging up with
fast
the messenger
right there with the messenger, and we can see that he's macroing everything on food, which is gonna be the 4 Jaguar Polar Knights very early into the game in order to pressure his opponent. On the other side, we can see Ezad is going for defensive Agra Fort, which is what we were expecting right there. The Jaguar Polar Knights are gonna come too late in order to deny, to inflict any damage onto that Agra Fort. However, they are still gonna be able to deal with the potential, they called already, with the sepoys of India.
Yeah, the age up sepoys might be in a bit of danger. In addition, I think it's always hard to deny the Agra forts, right? Because it starts with that 5,000 HP,
exactly.
and it doesn't take addition. Like unlike other buildings, I don't believe it takes the additional damage as it's being built. But now we see the Jaguars coming in, already snaring the Indian Explorer. Oh, not quite. Might be focusing a Vil here, but the Vil is just put back into the Agra fort.
Trick. Very nice pull trick right there by the second Explorer in order to get the first one out of that situation right there. And as we said, the Agra Fort is gonna assure that the map is secured. However, those 4 Jaguars, it can seem like they achieve nothing. What they are achieving is allowing this warrior to go forward. They are making sure that the Explorer have to stay into the base. And basically now, Ezad is in the dark. He doesn't see the map. He doesn't know what is happening. He doesn't know what his opponent is doing. And that's what those 4 Jaguars are achieving right now. Even if no kill was secured, I would say there was no first blood yet in this game, apart from the treasure garden, of course. But yeah, nicely played here by SoldieR, just posturing with the Jaguar Polar Knights.
So SoldieR now, I think he sent 3 warrior priests, and he's already had a 4th. His community plaza, I think, is on warrior priests. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Is it? No. That's actually XP right there. That's actually
okay.
XP.
Sorry, it's on XP. Okay, so he's just keeping the 4 warrior priests that he had, the one from age 1 and then the 3 from later. But now the Jaguars are gonna probably get one of these explorers. No, they back off. I mean, Sepoy, yes, they get countered by Jaguars in melee, but they can kind of kite, and especially with these tanky Indian elephant explorers, these Gurkha and these Sepoys in the back can just DPS the Jaguars.
That's why SoldieR is gonna complement his composition with a few Otontin. Is it Otontin Slinger? Or... No, those are Pumas. Pumas, okay, interesting. I don't know why he's making packs at that point. He's shipping the Otontin Slingers behind this, and now he's gonna finally switch into the Warrior Priest, as we said. And there you go, that's the reinforced blood right there. He's swapping the Community Plaza into Warrior Priest right there, and he's gonna try to go into that big boom that Aztec know and love. It's gonna get quite some time to get going at first. We can see 53 seconds to get a Warrior Priest, but very, very quickly it's gonna speed up, and then as he reaches 10 Warrior Priests, he's gonna have basically infinite XP, which is the entire goal of the civilization right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think generally people wants to pull some villagers onto the community plaza to make it faster, but I think SoldieR isn't really looking to Warrior Priest boom. He's more just using that as like an additional bonus, so he doesn't want his vills on there. His vills are going to keep gathering, which I think is an okay build as well. I don't know what you think.
We can see some sneaky Jaguar. That's something I'm sure about on the left side. Will they be spotted though by the Explorer? They have to be careful because those Jaguar Polo Knights could die very quickly to the Gurkha, as we can see them sneaking. What is the Splinter Cell music song? I can't remember, you know. And they are slowly creeping onto those villagers, but they have to come back.
Yeah, those invisible boys.
Feels, you know, the jungle feels dangerous when you have some Jaguars right there ready to pounce on you like that. Meanwhile, the Sowers, you know, they are not invisible, but they are fast. That's also a perk that you can have, and they are gonna kill a villager on their side. So apparently, speed better than being sneaky, guys. Note that. So if you have to paint your orcs, make sure to put some reds on them instead of some purple. That's
but two Pumas almost connecting, not quite there, but
almost.
Yes, SoldieR has a pretty decent mass in his FB now. He has, I guess, 12 or so pikes and a decent amount of Autontons as well, and he's shipping 9 Autontons as well, right? Or 8 Autontons. I think he already shipped 9.
Yeah, 8 Autontons. What I'm afraid though is that Warrior Priest boom gonna be fast enough to contest with the growth, the economic growth of Ezad? I'm not sure, and I can see that many people are asking themselves this question into the chat. He's not really committing into either way, I would say. So he's not doing any meaningful damage to India Eco, and he's not doing any meaningful boom on his side. And I believe that's exactly playing into the end of India right there, because India by default is doing both, and by default as an in-between approach, if you see what I mean. So I'm really unsure about that strategy on the side of SoldieR. Only time will tell though, and we can see now that the delis are gonna come from the Sultanate right there. How many villagers are we on to? 31 on the side of Ezad. How many villagers on the side of SoldieR? I cannot say. I believe that's a 25, but I might be wrong. 26 actually. And we can see now 8 Warrior Priests, soon to be 10. So that's like as soon as he's gonna switch the button again onto XP, we like basic SoldieR shipment curve is gonna be absolutely crazy, but it's gonna take at one more minute before we reach that point in which SoldieR is just going to be able to spam shipment again and again and again and again and again. And we can see finally the Jaguar Polo Knight finding a target.
Oh, but India's army, I think, is moving out on the bottom left here. Maybe they'll be pushing the bottom of the map to secure the next hunt that he kind of is starting to kind of desire here, because the hunts in his base are quickly drying up. I think there's just 1 or 2 of these nilgai. I don't know how to say that, but the deer here on the top.
Oh, yeah, I don't have the name, but yeah, I see what you mean. Basically, two umps are ready to be picked off, but we can see kind of an engagement right there. Careful, the Coyotes. Can the Coyotes connect and snare the entire army? That's a bit of an over commitment right there on the side of Ezad, maybe, but is it actually? Because we can see the Sowers going around the enemy composition. They are gonna try to kill the Antontin on the way in, but they cannot find them fast enough. However, the Gurkhas, meanwhile, are just shooting while the Antontin were running, while the Pumas were running as well, and the Gurkhas are just gonna clean the floor with SoldieR army right there.
Yeah, this does not look good for SoldieR. I mean, he's lost most of his mass, while India's mass is still looking extremely healthy. He has those ASAPs from the Ottoman consulate as well. He still has a solid number of sepoy, and following it up with a very, very large mass of those skirms as well. And here, I mean, these Tauntauns are kind of a little bit better than Strelets, but they're basically Strelets in my opinion, with a slightly higher DPS. So just the same mass or even a larger mass of skirm will easily be able to deal with that in any kind of ranged confrontation.
Also, can we look at SoldieR and his cards? Because nice raid right there, nice raid by SoldieR at that point of the game. He's gonna kill almost 10 villagers right. No, not 10, maybe 5, maybe less even. Because Ezad is gonna quickly come back right there with his army, nicely pull back the Coyote runners, not losing them all. However, the Sowers are snaring the entire army. There is only one warrior right there in order to push back all of those Gurkhas. Look at that Gurkha mass right there. But we have a shipment. We have some Pumas coming in. We have some Otondin Slinger. Is that enough to turn that game around? Once again, all of the Azaps, those Azaps are absolutely winning the game right there. Killing all of the Coyote runners right there, so the Gurkhas can keep DPSing. Meanwhile, the Sowers, they are putting so much pressure, forcing those Pumas. Those Pumas, they have to try to fight those Sowers, but it's not enough because your team cannot kill the Gurkhas, and at that point, I really don't see a comeback on the side of SoldieR.
Yeah, no, this is over. I think SoldieR knows it as well. He has no mass left. Those last few pikes are getting focused, and there we go. That is the GG. 2-1 now for Ezad.
Indeed. Can we just look at the deck on the side of SoldieR, please? I just want to know what he sent, because that was a lot of Pumas, and yeah, that's what I was worried about. Basically, when we look at the deck, guys, he hasn't sent because his shipment curve was so low. He hasn't sent the Coyote upgrade, the 20%, I believe, HP. I believe that's what it is on top of 10% speed. And that is one of the most important upgrade for Aztec. And because of the low shipment curve, that shipment was not on when he took the big fight. And 20% HP, especially on Coyote runners, can make a huge difference in those fights, in making sure that those Coyotes can swing 1, 2, 3 more times into the fight and really clean up the Gurkha mass. So yeah. That's exactly what I was feeling with the. We both argued was the basically non-commitment, I will say, on the Warrior Priest Boom a good thing. And when I see that shipment wasn't sent, I have to say no. I don't think it was, because you really need that shipment in order to win in H2 when you play as Aztec. Very nice play though by Ezad.
So I think the casting chat, we're having a quick discussion about maybe switching again producers. Is that okay with you, Gaius? I think just in case we run into any errors. Okay, in that case, let's run a quick ad. We're gonna get you the civ picks for next game, and we'll join you right back. All right. I'm sorry. I was just reading the casting chats and just seeing. I think Giggs was mentioning that it's maybe okay to go. So what was the matchup in game 1 again? It was All right, House versus Brit. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That game went nicely. So if you just restart your game just to make sure that we don't have any lags for the next one, maybe it might be fine. But as you want, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay too. I mean, so we just have to make a decision though. So do you want to just continue? That's okay
Yeah,
with
we
me.
can.
Okay, let's just continue then.
Okay.
No, it's not your work. It's just it's a bit unfortunate with that.
Yeah,
No,
it was
nobody's blaming
unfortunate
you.
with the previous one.
Nobody's blaming you.
Yeah, just let's restart the game and let's
Okay.
go into the fourth cast, the fourth game. No, on top of that, like as Steppenwolf is saying into the chat, like your reaction to raids was excellent in the first game, in the third game as well. So, like it is just unfortunate that we had some issues with game 2.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just gonna go grab a drink, guys, so that I can keep up and yeah, leaving you, Baron.
Yeah.
Chat.
No worries.
Be cool with Baron, chat, please. Come on. I'm leaving him to you. But yeah, coming back.
Yeah, sounds good. So how is everybody doing? I'm sorry about the technical issues earlier, but I think we have it fixed. We just have to restart the game in between. And we do have the Civ picks for for game 4 now with a China mirror. So SoldieR picking or I guess so. Okay, so game 1 who picked first? Sorry. So game 1 SoldieR won. So game 2 Ezad picked first. Game 3 SoldieR picked first, and now game 4 Ezad picked first. So SoldieR was counter picking with the China mirror, and this one I think should be quite enjoyable.
Sausage time. Man, is it good? That's all I have to say.
Your beer, or what did you get?
Sausage.
Oh, sausage. I see. Very nice. Yeah, I had a nice little. So while I was producing the previous series, I think in the last game it was about lunchtime, so I stepped away and quickly grabbed a burrito, and it was quite good.
Oh, that's why. Alison was talking about burritos at one point, maybe. Was it during the Mexican game? That's the big question right there. But yeah. Is it a Chinese mirror? Oh, Chinese mirror, as you were saying. Nice. Ezad versus SoldieR on Chinese versus Chinese. That's gonna be cool.
If we're switching, then let's just do it quickly, and if not, I don't know. Okay, let's just switch then. All right then. I can just immediately start if you stop now. No, I'll just do both. I think it's probably the easiest.
We can hear you, Baron. Sorry if I was muted.
Hello.
I can hear you for sure.
Yes,
Let
I'm
me
just
see
checking
stream.
if the stream can maybe hear me or not. Not 100% sure.
The stream can hear you, it seems.
Okay, excellent. All right then. So let's just get ready for it. Let me finish up the the Civ choices. So Ezad, game 3 chose India, and it was against Aztec. And Ezad won, right?
Yeah, Ezad won the third one, and now we have a Chinese mirror.
No, excellent. So China and Chinese mirror. China mirrors, I think, are always pretty interesting because generally what you want as China is to kind of be a little bit passive, at least until you get your big shipments, big death ball rolling, and then just crush a fight, right? But how do China mirrors usually work? I mean, if both players kind of want to do this, I guess maybe the player who's going a bit greedier, a bit more defensive, probably has a slight edge.
Exactly, it's one of those matchups in which you are pushed towards being more greedy than your opponents, and so you end up both greeding, and then you reach 200 pop each, and you have a big fight, and that's how Chinese mirror ends up usually. Yeah. So guys, what I will say is, make yourself comfortable in your seat, in your couch, in whatever you are. Get a large beer, a large cup of tea, whatever you have as a drink on a Sunday evening right there. It's 11 o'clock right where I live. So make sure to grab something to eat, to grab a little snack, something to drink. Get comfy, because this is going to be a game. This is going to be a show. And yeah, I cannot wait.
All right, and we're going to head in right now.
Let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, game 4 of the Ro16. We have Ezad versus SoldieR. Ezad is going to play in the red on the north side of the map, while SoldieR is going to play blue in the south side of the map. And both of them are going to play the Chinese guys. So, yeah, what is this game going to be about? Very likely, as we said, booming. Basically, both of them are likely going to open up with a TP. However, we can see already a difference. Ezad seems to not be going for a fast TP right there. Instead, he might have grabbed a treasure. Yeah, he just grabbed a big 85-foot treasure on the way, and then he's going to go for the TP. So he's going to have a bit less XP, but a lot more speed as he's looking to edge up. While on the other side, SoldieR in wait, straight in for the TP right there. So he's going to edge up a little bit slower, but he's going to have more XP as he does so.
Yeah, I actually think it's a bit dangerous to be this late with the TP as China, because your age of time is actually, especially if you're going for the French consulates with the T export as your first card, is very, very much defined by when you can get that first shipment in. And if you miss the pass as China, which I think he just did, the issue is that you will not be getting that first shipment very quickly. So we'll see that SoldieR, as soon as this pass comes in, or even before that, he has already gotten his first shipment. While if we look on the side of Ezad, oh, somehow Ezad has already gotten his first shipment and even before. So yeah, I take my words back.
Because of the treasure, because the treasure actually gives more XP in the very, very early game. So nicely played here. However, as you get the treasure earlier, then your opponent will get his own treasure a little bit later. And that's why at the end of the day, for your XP curve, it's better to go for the TP fast. Also, it's a map with a very short trade line. So having a later TP is less of an issue. When you compare that to, for example, going for like missing the pass on Central Plane, for example, in which missing the pass is like missing 1 minute of XP from the TP line, which is something that you just cannot afford. Here, you are just missing 20 seconds, basically, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, totally makes sense. And now we have here that he's getting this Tomahawk and this guy is pretty strong. Look at him, 16 ranged attack, 10 siege actually. Boy. It's a pretty solid unit. And also a native warrior, right? So you can kind of bully the opponent's explorer potentially with this extra
no,
unit in
Already,
F1.
already bullying a disciple. There you
Yes.
go. And on top of that, remember the Chinese monk is super strong with the help of an Iroquois, of the Iroquois, plus the help of his disciple. He's likely gonna go for a treasure. I saw treasure on the north side of the map with a settler. There you go. That's what he's going for. So that's gonna be a ton of XP because that's 4 bears right there that are gonna go down. So a ton of XP, and on top of that, he's gonna have a villager. So clearly, Ezad right now is completely winning VH1. Sure, his Explorer paid the price in HP for it, but to me that looks very worth it, especially with that villager right there that is going to be able to pull some of those hunts toward his base on top of that. So very nicely played right there.
什么？
I really love that opening by Ezad. Very good opening compared to his opponents. And we can see Summer Palace, I believe, on both sides. I would be extremely surprised if we see something else. Yes, Summer Palace on both sides. Oh, already resigning the consulate right there on the side of SoldieR. So SoldieR is not looking to stay into the consulate, while Ezad, it looks like he's looking to greed his consulate and to stay with the French to get potentially a second round of crates. So interesting, already a small divergence right there between the two builds. The big question is going to be what do they use as their first shipment, and we can see here 7 step riders straight away. So that's why he's going away from the French consulate. Instead, he's going into the Russian right there. We can see Ezad, that is going into the Russian. SoldieR, is SoldieR doing the same, going into the Russian?
Let's take a look at SoldieR. He hasn't chosen a
No,
consulate
he hasn't
yet,
picked.
but he is also
Hasn't
shipping
yet.
the 7 steps.
Okay. So likely a semi from on both sides. We can see here the steps. I don't know if the steps have been sent on the side of Ezad. I didn't saw them, at least not yet. We can see here 7 step riders. Yes, 7 step riders on both sides. English consulate on one side, Russian consulate on the other. So basically more map control on the side of Ezad, but better units on the side of SoldieR. So yeah, I don't think Ezad wants to take a fight outside of basically the range of his blockhouse, and we can see here the Explorer is gonna fall against all of those step riders right there. Really nice cleanup of the zoo, I would say. All of the disciple, the Explorer and the native warrior right there, all going down. However, on the other side, the trading post is gonna go down in no time. Those raiders are gonna go towards the north.
This
and
villager
look
might get
for
caught out
The
here.
villager.
He is. And what's really cool is that the step riders actually have this, because of the Brits consulate buff, as you mentioned, they will take an extra hit to kill in a step versus step encounter. And so there is no way that Ezad can take this fight without a reinforcing batch of units. Even calling pikes here. Oh, but SoldieR spots them early because of the extremely high line of sight of these step riders. And he manages to dodge. And also, unlike normal cavalry, step riders have 7.25 speed, so they actually run extremely quick and they can't get caught by goons. On the other hand, right now these step riders are here idling the TC. However, the porcelain tower does get dropped by SoldieR. And do we have a fight up in the north? He did get snared. Wow, so many things happening already, and my APM is being tested here. I have to move the camera, I have to keep up with the cast. And this is incredible stuff already.
Yeah, what you have to be careful also, it's a little detail, but I love it, is that the Russian consulate allows you to go into the blockhouse, and so you can train actually Keshiks from the blockhouse with step riders to have that very the Mongolian army. There you go, which is excellent versus like basically raiders, and that's what he went for right there. Ezad, that is, in order to defend his base. So maybe and very likely the Minutemen here were a little bit of a mistake. Little bit of an overreaction. They didn't achieve anything. But other than that, very nice early play right there. He needs to be careful though, because those Shukanus are gonna do very good work of the Keshiks, and you want to keep those 2 Keshiks in order to deal with the Mongolians raiders of your opponents.
Yep, and SoldieR has TP denied, while Ezad still has his TP here. So if we look at the XP curves, right? I believe SoldieR is at a slight disadvantage here. So no shipments going into H3, while Ezad has that shipment that he can get upon aging up.
Indeed, and on top of that, you have to remember that the issue is going to get worse and worse and worse, basically. So that's the thing with XP curve. It's not going to get better for Ezad for SoldieR, sorry, as the game goes on. He needs to retake those TPs in order to come back, because right now he's like half a shipment behind, but very, very soon he will be an entire shipment behind. So he really needs to resecure some of those TPs. We can see here what is going to be sent by Ezad as a first card as he reaches H3. Straight away, Meteor Armors, obviously, very nice pickup right there. He's also switching out of the Russian consulate, very likely gonna go into the English one in order to have the strongest army possible, right there for the HP. And oh wait, he can sell the Meteor Armor, it seems. Yes. Yeah, instead, the Chengdao Swordman. I really like that. I really like that. Basically more siege, gonna be able to deal with the cavalry of his opponent. While on the other side, we have the arquebusiers that are coming out in order to deal with potential Chengdao Swordmen. But I really like the Chengdao Swordmen because those arquebusiers are not gonna be able to push. Under your blockhouse, only the... wait, is it the Chengdaos actually? Yeah, it's the Chengdaos on that side. I really like that because the only thing that can siege your blockhouse is basically cavalry. And no, he switched. He switched. Look, this is gonna be the Bayang army, so it's gonna ship 5 raiders. It's gonna ship 8 raiders. It's gonna ship 8 Keshiks, and on top of that, it's gonna upgrade them to veteran, which is an excellent shipment in early Castle Age right there. And behind this, we can see the British consulate and then the arquebusiers. So instead of relying on Chengdaos for his anti-cav, he's going to rely on Keshiks, which is excellent, I have to say. Keshiks, very underestimated units, but once you can mass enough of them and you can upgrade them on top of that, they become very, very dangerous units indeed. So really nicely played right there, and already putting pressure on the consulate with all of those riders.
Yeah, SoldieR needs anti-cap desperately right now. These disciplined
100%.
step riders, there's so many of them on Ezad's side. Look at this, 18 of them. Yes, SoldieR has his own cavalry mass, but he does not have the anti-cap. These are some disciplined Keshiks, and they will be shredding SoldieR's cavalry here. He does still have access to the Minutemen pops, though. Both of them here, and that's what he's doing. He's gonna time his Minutemen, but what? These cav are so far away right now. This is not perfectly timed. These pikes popped on the wrong side of the TC, not quite getting a snare off either. So this timing, I think, was denied by Ezad here. And now I think the 10 disciplined arquebusiers coming in behind this, and this XP curve is just such an advantage for Ezad. Look at this, 89 population with 32 villagers for Ezad, while for SoldieR 82 and 29. So actually not too different, but about 10 units down or so, and also down a couple of villagers.
But it's gonna be the next shipment that is really gonna seal the deal right there. That's what we talked about earlier. It's not gonna get better with as the game goes on. It's gonna get worse when it comes to the XP difference. And on top of that, one player already has a steady stream, already has a good anti-cav base, range anti-cav base, and the other player doesn't. And if there is really one thing in the Chinese mirror that you have to consider, is that cavalry is gonna be an issue, because cav is extremely strong for Chinese. They are very, very good cav, and you need that range anti-cav. Chengdaos and Redcoat are gonna do the job in the mid game, but as the game goes longer and longer, they are not. And you will need those Keshiks, you will need the Manchus to make sure that you can deal with the opponent cav at range, from range with steady DPS, instead of relying on melee units, because as soon as you have 40 arquebusiers against you, Chengdaos are just not gonna cut it, you know. They are just gonna die almost immediately. So you have to rely on something else.
Taking a villager snipe there, very
Nice
good.
play.
And I think in these mirrors, any bits of imbalance will eventually snowball a little bit. We already see that Ezad is up more than 2k, 2.5k score. His own intervention coming in here. So this military, I think that Ezad has managed to mass here is just ridiculous. Look at this, 15 redcoats. What is this? 17 of these Keshiks. SoldieR on the other hand. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was saying he's officially one shipment ahead. And he's basically gonna receive his next shipment at the same time of his opponent, and that's why he's looking for a dive right there. He knows that he's ahead, and that's it. We can see the snare coming in. He's waiting for his infantry, but as soon as his infantry join in, I believe he's gonna commit into this fight. We can see the Keshiks protecting from the enemy cavalry right there. Arquebusiers on arquebusiers action. We need those raiders though to dive in, to really commit more, because that's where the big advantage in terms of mass is located. It's not in those arquebusiers, it's in this cavalry right there. And we can see now the cavalry is gonna crash in. We can see Keshiks onto heavy cav action on the north, on the south. The raiders are committing in, forcing the red card, forcing the Chengdao forwards. They are gonna get picked off by the arquebusiers. We can look at the raiders going straight around the rosy right there, going towards the north, and then they are gonna recommit onto the arquebusiers. Very nicely micro right there by Ezad, slowly pinking off the heavy infantry of his opponent. And at the end of the day, there is red on the field and blue is dead. Basically, all the army of blue is down at that point.
Yeah, this looks very, very over. 5k score lead now. The issue here was that I think Ezad wanted to take these skirmisher trades, thin out SoldieR's arquebusiers, and the goal of that is that he can no longer split fire 2 Keshiks. And this is a big advantage here, because then these Keshiks just live for so much longer, DPSing in the back. Once the skirmishers have been thinned out. So I think starting off with those pokes, he knew he had the skirmisher advantage as well. So that just really sealed the deal, I think. Taking those early skirmisher trades, thinning out SoldieR's skirmisher mass, and then going in once he was confident that SoldieR would not be able to split his cavalry, or his light cavalry. So very, very nice micro, I think, decisions from Ezad there.
And really, guys, we cannot underestimate how Keshiks are important, like really. And we can see very nice reaction here by SoldieR. He's gonna try to grid behind this to go into water in order to recover. I believe that's his last option, basically. But yeah, Keshiks are super important. Like the Keshiks looks like a trash unit. They cost wood. They are extremely. They don't cost wood, but they are hard to mass in the early game, hard to access. Without cards, they don't. They have absolutely crap DPS against anything but cav. But once carded, in particular, they have the highest DPS per pop of any anti-cav. While we have the fast one right there, I believe that has come. Yes, the fast one has come, bringing all of the army, not from the side, but straight into the opponent base right there. Very nicely played. He's gonna siege immediately the porcelain tower. If the porcelain tower goes down, that's basically a big portion of the eco. 4 villagers, I believe, equivalent, that are gonna go down right there. We can see the arquebusiers are shooting on the opponent arquebusiers, keeping the infantry mass at bay. Meanwhile, the porcelain tower is gonna go down. What a play right there by Ezad.
That was incredible. I mean, this porcelain tower is actually 7 builds, because it's 5 food. Sorry, 5 wood? Or 4 wood. It's 4 wood.
Yeah, you're right.
But here, okay, so all of these ranged infantry, the muskets, the skirmishers are just obliterating the Chengdao mass. Yes, SoldieR has some good cover mode micro, but I cannot see how he comes out of this alive. There's still China Cav, he's tanky China Cav in front, soaking some damage. 2 more meteor hammers and iron flails coming down from the side here onto the skirmishers, and the front line has been completely annihilated from SoldieR, and here is just cavalry. What are these? Chengdao, everything on the skirmishers, and this is just GG. Well played by Ezad. I think it just snowballed from that experience. We started this game talking about XP, about how some early experience with that treasure and getting that TP here gave Ezad the age-up advantage. But later on, by sieging SoldieR's TP, Ezad's, let's just take a look at how much experience he had. It just way outscaled SoldieR.
Yeah, he had like 1 or 2 more shipments. If you look at the shipment, I believe at the end of the game, with the snowball coming from the fights, I believe he had 2 more shipments.
At one point, he had two
one more
yeah.
actually. Yeah, that's huge. That's absolutely huge. At one point, he had 2 more, which is massive. 2 more shipment. Like when we are talking about H3 Chinese, 2 shipment is gigantic. Let's be real. So yeah, very well played right there by Ezad. Like just an immaculate edge one, really. Excellent edge one by him. And then driving really the point home. I really like the switch into how is it called? I really like the switch into Russian consulate in order to access the early K6 and then swap into the English consulate. Really nice touch, you know, not something we see often. But I really liked it right there by Ezad. Very nice touch. Really small build detail, but made a world of difference right there.
Yeah. And now Ezad is on match points. I mean, SoldieR came into this series leading 1-0. And now Ezad has managed to kind of pull it back. But we are already getting ready to... We're not wasting any time now. We're getting into game number 5. SoldieR, I believe... so who counterpicked who? So second game, Ezad picked second. So third game, Ezad picked first. Fourth game, Ezad picked second. So here, Ezad picked Japan and SoldieR counterpicked with Germany, I believe.
Normally, yes.
Yes. So let's just head right into the game. Are you ready?
Let's go. Yeah. Waiting for you, mate. When you're ready. And ladies and gentlemen, we are going in for potentially the 5th and final game of this series between Ezad and SoldieR. Can SoldieR pull off the reverse sweep right there, win 3 games in a row? That's going to be the big question. On his side, like SoldieR, soft side of the map, he's going to play blue, the Germans right there in the blue. In the north side of the map, Ezad is going to play the Japanese. Very cool civilization if you're a weeb, basically. And if you're not a weeb, it's still a very cool civilization. 2 days in a row, we see some Japanese. It's been a while, we haven't seen them in competitive. So I wonder if the last patch actually changed something towards the Japanese. Are they a little bit more played at the top level? I'm not sure. I have to say, we can see here market start. He's gonna go for the berries, then build his first how is it called? Shrine, and potentially second shrine thanks to wood treasure right there. Yeah, we can see second shrine coming up. So nicely played right there. Nice little early game. And on the other side, Germany, free settler wagon, and just gonna go straight into H2 and drop a TP in transition, as always.
I'm actually not sure, right? In this matchup, I tend to not really like for Germany. I think one of Germany's options here is to go for a tower rush. I don't expect to see SoldieR doing this here. He, I think, will more likely just go for a semi. But I think a tower rush is very strong potentially against Japan, especially if they aren't super well prepared. Getting 8 bows with a 16 villager age up. SoldieR won't get a 16 villager age up. He's gonna age up with 17 villas and 20. Oh, but who got the treasure? Oh, Ezad manages to steal it from SoldieR. That is huge. Yeah, definitely SoldieR not getting a 16 vil age up here, and that means the tower rush won't be as scary. But sorry to cut you off there.
No problem. You're totally right. And on the other side, Ezad, like 100 food is a lot, and it's gonna fuel a potential fast Torii gate kind of timing. You know, that first batch of Ashigarus is gonna come maybe 10 seconds faster, which is gigantic when we are talking about those early games. As you said, the rush basically died with this treasure contestation. That's a 200 foot swing. So it's like your batch comes in 10 seconds faster and the opponent batch comes in 10 seconds later. So almost you have your second batch as your opponent is getting his first. So that's a huge swing that we just saw right there. And the German rush, if that was the plan, might have just died from that treasure contestation right there, or at least it's going to be a lot more difficult. We can see land deck. He has, as expected, when you are going into some kind of H2 play with bow pikes. He has the 600 wood crate available in H2. However, he doesn't have a ton of card in H2 as well, so we'll see if he commits into H2. I'm not sure. On the other side, anything special on the side of Ezad? Any crazy stuff?
Very standard looking
Let-
to me.
Yeah, it's very standard looking indeed. Yeah, nothing crazy at all. Actually, a few cards to upgrade, but the most important one, all of the cards are geared towards his infantry, so nothing crazy right there. No samurai upgrades, very few upgrades towards his cavalry. So it's basically gonna be Ashigaru, Yumi's, and that's gonna be it on the side of Ezad.
Look at Ezad just using that teleport ability whenever Soldier's Explorer gets close, because he wants his explorers alive, roaming the map, and just putting down his shrines whenever possible. I believe he's going for another shrine here. Or oh no, not quite.
He's looking for it.
Yeah.
He's looking for it though, that's for sure. Behind this Torii Gate, as we said, Torii Gate clearly an extremely good landmark now. Edge up now that it basically upgrades all of your XP gains. Every time you build something, more XP. Every time you train something, more XP. Every time you kill something, more XP. Which basically make Japan the second Spain. I have to say Japanese basically the second Spain civilization. So that's pretty much it. The only thing that doesn't give XP, obviously, is technology. So that's why usually you go for a little bit less tax early game with a Torii Gate build, and instead you really focus on military production in order to get the most value. Contesting the outpost right there with the samurai did a lot of damage already onto that outpost thanks to the high siege of the samurai. Then the settler wagon gonna build a racks here, but is that gonna be fast enough? We can see bow pike basically, as you said, bow pike rush, the 8 crossbowmen and 2 Ulans coming in.
Yup. I mean, again though, this is a 17-ville Germany age up, so it's nowhere near as scary as a 16-ville, because Japan already has their barracks in. They're probably 5 Ashi coming out any second now, while Germany is still starting to his first batch just now. So these Ashi are very, very scary. They're faster than bows. So if they get a nice pop, oh sorry, they're already out. But so yes, okay. So 5 Ashi can't fight 8 bows. That is true. However, SoldieR also did not manage to do any damage really, in cause any idle time, except just the 10 vills in there that were used to snipe his bows. So overall, I mean, Germany's tower rush is really not worth it unless you can get a 16 villager age up. Otherwise, I think against Japan, like, they just have such a better prolonged H2, you never want to be stuck. So I believe SoldieR will go for the 8 bow, 3 settler wagon, 700 coin variation, and kind of do a bow pike almost semi. So you're doing some damage, poking a little bit, but you do not want to overcommit in H2, because in a long H2 confrontation, Japan will just demolish Germany.
I have to agree with that. One of the things though that Germany has going for itself is that usually you don't have to fear a calf transition on the side of Japan, at least not for now. So you can just purely focus on bows. Oh, he's gonna make a few packs still in order to siege, I believe, those shrines. On the other side, we already see 15, I believe, Ashigaru's musketeer already on the field, so clearly Japan feeling fantastic. He was able to squeeze in a 5 shrine shipment, so already on 100 population, which is massive. Of course, he's losing a TP, as I say that, but still very, very good eco going on the side of Japanese, and that Ashigaru mass just rising and rising and rising, and now we already see the daimyo. That's a very early daimyo right there, and now there is the castry coming in. I have to say, usually we don't see the daimyo straight away. Usually we see the wood in order to get access to the consulate, then you have the ninja guys, and then you see a daimyo, but this time it started with the daimyo in order to get access to the Naginata riders that are gonna counter the crossbow. So very nice play here by Ezad.
Yep, SoldieR here kind of letting Japan do what they want while waiting for his own timing. He's actually is going for a more extended H2 place, shipping 700 wood instead of 700 coin, indicating that he might add either a second racks or a stable and go for a more delayed timing here. On the other hand, oh, this is a massive cav batch, and SoldieR has absolutely no anti-cav. He canceled that earlier pike batch. Another bow batch coming in here, and this is not good.
Dramatic. Yeah, this is not good at all. This is not good at all. We can see 2 Ulans coming in. They have to deal with 5 Naginatas and a Shogun. Good freaking luck. Not gonna be today. Not gonna be
This is
tomorrow.
good kiting.
And
This is very good kiting from SoldieR.
very
here.
good kiting, sure, but is that gonna be enough? I'm not sure, because we can see those 2 Naginatas, they are still striking. Another batch of Naginata is gonna be trained behind this. No, he's actually gonna go back. So nice kiting by SoldieR, is not out of the water yet. And on top of that, now he knows that the Naginata switch can come in. However, another batch of Naginata coming in. As we said, the eco on the side of Japan is uncontested. He's basically on 9 shrine at this point, which is excellent. And on the other side, German did some concession in order to get that early timing going on. The eco is a bit slower on the side of Germany. 3 doppels are gonna come in order to counter the Naginatas. Is that gonna be enough though? 3 doppels?
He has to.
Few pikes as well, yeah.
But I think here batching bows, he definitely needs bows. Otherwise, if you ever, as
I
Germany,
completely agree.
have fewer bows than there are Ashy, you might as well resign. And
Yeah.
here we have 26 Ashy from Ezad, and we have 22 bows from SoldieR. So he needs this extra 10 bows here. So now he has 36, and maybe there's still a fight here. More 2 Ulans
Fighting-
and 3 Dops should be coming in anytime, and he might be able to snipe a few Ashy.
Yeah, he needs to fight under the outpost as well. And we can see on the other side, Ezad is starting to add some Yumis. I saw the Yumi shipment coming in. Oh, wait, he can sell the Yumi shipment instead. He decided to send 600 wood, still for Yumi's production, I'm pretty sure. It is just that it is better to ship the wood if you have the time, instead of shipping the Yumi straight away. So it's basically more resources, more villager seconds. So I believe that's what he's doing, but he's still gonna train Yumis. And as soon as there are Yumis on the field, Yumis can basically outpoke, outrange the crossbows, and that's going to be the moment where the pain train is going to start, I have to say, on the side of Ezad. Meanwhile, we have a few raids. Can he catch that settler wagon? Nope. Oh, just going out right there. Yes.
Ooh, this is kind of like a little bit of a base trade almost. SoldieR's army is positioning
Almost, yeah.
into Ezad's base. Okay, Ezad now pulling his army back. The cavalry is going to stick around a little bit just to see if they can get any villagers. But let's focus on the main fight here. Ooh, losing a batch of Ashy. This is a bit of a slack. Calling both batches of Minutemen. Losing a villager. Is SoldieR going to be able to make something happen here? Another batch of Ashy. And look at this. Ashy with their 4.5 speed. The bows snared slightly. And now what is going to happen? How many bows do we have? 39 bows from SoldieR. 34 from Ezad. So it's still close. I don't think Ezad can dive this with good micro from SoldieR. But oh, a Minuteman call here to deter the Naginatas, which is also not great from SoldieR's side. And I think SoldieR just needs to, he is, at this point, he is stuck. He needs to finish this in H2.
Yeah. He needs to yeet himself into the Japanese base, basically, but that's going to be tough, especially when behind you have 4 Naginatas that are looking to kill your villager, and on top of that, that can, at any moment, collapse onto your army, and if they collapse onto your army, the problem is not the 4 Naginatas themselves, it's the snare. The snare is going to make it so the Ashigaru mass can just close in on you. And if that amount of Ashigaru can just close on your mass of crossbowmen, I know that crossbows are the counter to Ashigarus, but it's not gonna matter. You see what I mean? Like,
It's a bait
if Ashigarus, if Ashigarus are in range, they are gonna absolutely demolish crossbowmen, as the mass just grows. So, like, SoldieR cannot afford to be snared. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say here. And we've seen he has done a very good job not to be snared since the beginning of the game. He's committing though. Committing very heavily right there. Yeah, but you can see Ashigarus are shooting, and for now, there you go, you see? Crossbows apparently counter Ashigarus. Just saying. So, no. And the Naginatas coming at the back. Can they get the snare? They are coming in for the snare. We can see all of the pikemen are going to try to shield the crossbowmen. and yeah,
Oh,
Naginata's
SoldieR
turned
needs more
around.
crossbows now. He's no longer... So 29 crossbows only. He's committing into the base.
Too
He's
many
gonna get
pikemen.
surrounded here. Where is he gonna go? Oh no,
That's-
36. Ashy.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he counting on the crossbow mass to just clean all the Ashigarus? I'm not sure that's gonna happen though, because that's a ton of Ashigarus. They are being boosted in terms of attack. We can see the Naginatas coming in. Sure, the pikemen are gonna go at the front. Now it's about the Ashigarus. Can the Ashigarus focus on the crossbowmen well enough, or are they gonna miss shot onto those pikemen? Right now they are focusing onto the pikemen. The pikemen are in the defensive formation. So right now the pikemen are doing a fantastic job while the crossbows keep dealing damage onto the Ashigarus. You can see reinforcing batch right there. But I have to agree with you. I don't think that's enough crossbows at this point. And we can see the reinforcing crossbows. They are being cut off. They are being completely cut off by the Naginatas. Right now, the crossbow mass is so low on the top side. They are twice the amount of Ashigarus. And I believe SoldieR is actually losing this game. Is Ezad gonna secure the 4-1 in this series? Naginatas on crossbows in the south. G into the G.
GG. That was... Yeah. I don't know how Germany can ever win this in H2. Like, Ashigaru Naginata is just too strong of a composition here. There's just not much he can do. I think SoldieR even microed that last fight quite well. He even noticed these crossbow and tried to walk them around. But, I mean, Ezad just had the superior units. Look at these Ashigaru, 25 ranged attack compared with just 16 with crossbow with a 1.25 multiplier against heavy infantry. In the presence of a daimyo, they get an additional 10%, so they're almost 28 damage. And he was about to send in their Ashigaru musketeer attack.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there was just no
15%
way.
on top.
Yes.
I have to fully agree with. By the way, guys, don't worry, my voice is alive and I wasn't choking up. It's just like. There you go. It was a comedic thing at the end of the game. But yeah, I have to agree completely with Toblerone right there. If the game, if that fight was not happening at the back of the base, maybe there was a chance. But the fact that the crossbow reinforcement were so far away and completely cut it off really sealed the deal right there. You cannot push away from your reinforcement and allow the opponent army to basically put themselves in the middle and to choose which unit can pick off your reinforcement and which unit basically you cannot reinforce with. That's exactly what happened there, and that's why SoldieR lost this fight. We can see like those 3 Naginatas at the south completely zoning 10 crossbows. That's not something that you can afford. Those 10 crossbows, if they shoot on Ashigarus, there is a chance, but here daimyo plus 2 Naginatas, no chance, mate. You are losing this one.
Yeah. I think this was a bit of an overcommit from SoldieR, unfortunately, pushing all the way back here in a bad position. But on the other hand, like, what was he supposed to do? He was stuck in H2, I think. There's no way for him to H up. So, unfortunately, I don't think this is quite the right build to go for. Like, tower rushing with 17 villagers is just not very good. And I think it kind of showed towards the end. Japan outscales in both economy and units, and simply ending the game there.
I wouldn't say it is a bad build, but after what happened in H1 and we saw the treasure concession, you know, the 200 wood, basically the swing, thanks to the treasure. After that, I have to agree that it wasn't the build to go for, because as we said, like we saw perfectly well at the start that the basically 15-second, maybe 20-second difference on that first batch of Ashigaru versus the first batch of units coming out of Germany. Basically, as the pressure from Germany was coming in, the first batch of Ashigaru was already out. And if that's happening and you haven't even been able to swing at a single villager and you already have Ashigarus to counter the Uhlans, it's already too late. Honestly, it's already too late.
Yeah.
So yeah, G into the G. Baron, thank you. Thank you for that entire evening, both the cast and the spectating. Ladies and gents, whatever you are, aliens, etc., etc. I hope you enjoyed this evening cast. If I'm correct, there is a cast tomorrow.
Yeah, we actually might do a quick interview with Ezad for the winners interview. So let's see if we can bring him in.
And meanwhile, I'm gonna look what is the program, basically the schedule for tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure there is a match tomorrow. Let me double check. Man, do we talk a lot in that channel? Oh yeah, tomorrow Kinesi versus King of Osman. So Kinesi, the big comeback, my man is coming back in. So it's gonna be on Monday. So tomorrow, 12 GMT, so 14 for me, but 12 GMT for you guys. So yeah.
All right, so we will be. Let's drop down to Team Games 2. Oh no!
Oh, no,
Ezad is
bro,
up here.
Ezad.
All right. What's
Hello,
up?
hello.
Hello, wait 1 second. Tigre was just joining the channel, so I was chatting. Okay, never mind, sorry. I'm back now.
Ezad, big question.
Yes.
Is it Ezad
Yes.
or is it Ezad?
I think that's the very biggest mysterium. But I just say, I don't know, I said it so many times, but still people get it wrong. It's just Ezad.
Ezad. There you go.
Not EZ, not like long E or long I or I don't know. It's just Ezad.
You have to blame
Ezad.
Lionheart for this.
Or-
Lionheart keeps saying Ezad, and he's just brainwashing
Yeah.
everybody.
Blame it on Lionheart. There you
Yes,
go.
yes.
That's
There
gonna
we
go.
be the mantra.
Yeah, just call me Ezad, that's fine. Well, tough
So-
series. I wasn't expecting Soldier playing that well, actually. He performed really well in my opinion. I wasn't sure which Ciffy will pick first. I was just hoping he didn't pick Spain, so because Spain Hauser is hopeless, but I just gave it a try, and yeah, he played it really well, although he lost so many votes. He just
Yeah.
had more score the whole game. But yeah, I think he had just composition wise he outplayed me there quite hard. I think game one.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like one of the comments was that like you went for Songhai, which is not bad at all, but you need to do damage, critical amount of damage, and apparently you did damage, but not early enough to really stop the snowball that British is basically.
Yeah, but
So-
you have to go Songhai in my opinion.
Songhai,
because,
yeah,
you
I
have
completely agree. Against Brits, you have to. I completely
yeah.
agree.
to be aggressive, and yeah, I didn't expect the H-up at all.
Yeah,
I was just wondering
first
because he was just camping in base, so I could have smelled FF, but I just played full H2 and I didn't play in my hands. He countered me quite well. I thought, okay, I just go full Raiders and Fulani because he didn't have any 5 Huss in deck, so I didn't expect any Huss from him. He had only 30 Eagers or something, but yeah.
Yeah, but as soon as he went H3, there was the goons on top of that, then the assaults,
Yeah.
upgraded assaults, and at that point it was really, really hard for you to contest. Apart from that, like last game, would you say that we have a Fury, that big treasure, 100-foot treasure that you managed to grab,
Yes.
won the game? Let's be real. It's-
I don't know if it's well. It gave me a lot of tempo. That's true because
Yeah.
my first 5 Ashi batch came on right on time when the 2 Ulan arrived my base. So this could have been very game changing.
Yeah,
And
I think
I also wait 1 second, and also I went even greedy with 5's Shrine Ready
Yeah, we
first.
saw.
Although, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I went greedy because I aged so early with the 1 food. So yeah, that could be a game changer. That's true.
Yeah, I think it also prevented Soldier from aging 16 vil, so he had a 17 vil age up. So
Yeah.
the bows were. I think that first 8 bow shipment was not as scary because you already had, as you mentioned, your first Ashy batch out and a second one in queue. So
Yeah. But to be honest, I must say I was super lucky the whole series because I had like every game one of the best treasures I could find. So that played me
Yeah.
also in my hands, I must
But
say.
the Chinese game, same, excellent H1, I have to say, but what
Yeah,
I really
like-
loved from your Chinese build order was the switch into Russian consulate. Is that something that you do often in the mirror? Because I found it really, really smart.
No. That was actually the first time I did it in mirror. But
Okay.
usually, but I had such a great start with food and stuff, so I just tried like
Okay.
I just make one Keshik and Step Rider badge because I think I saw the 7 Step Riders from him when he killed my hero, but yeah, that was a little bit spontaneous what I did there, but it worked.
Okay. Because that's what I was gonna say. If your opponent goes pure greed, I'm not sure that's the best. But if your opponent tries to go for a semi with the Raiders, Mongolian cavalry, then suddenly it's insane. So I really liked it right there. A small little detail, but very very tasty. I would say adaptation right there. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think I just had the better composition in that game all the time. Also with H1, H2, I just had I felt like I was always ahead in the game, and just had to win the main fight. But yeah, as I said before, like the treasures were in my hands, so that's why I was ahead a lot.
Indeed.
Well, congratulations, Ezad, on your win today, and I guess your next opponent should be Frontline in a round of 8 in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that matchup, and how are you gonna maybe prepare for that?
I'm quite happy that I play Frontline instead of Bows, because I think I would struggle way more versus Bows than versus Frontline because of the playstyle. I think Bows is... Yeah, it depends on the player. Like, both are really strong, but I must say I would struggle more versus Bows. And I actually love playing versus Frontline because there can happen anything. He plays every civ, and so many strats. Yeah. And he also thinks every game which strat he's going for, so this could be really fun. Therefore, I must say I enjoy more playing versus Frontline than both. But yeah, it will be really fun.
Yeah, looking forward to that next week. Well, congratulations on your win, and I think that'll be it for us today. As we mentioned, we have one more cast tomorrow with Kinesi and King of Osmane, right? So
yes,
you guys should be looking forward to that as well. And I think that's it for us today. Kanoki, any last words?
See ya, guys. Have a nice Sunday evening, and see ya tomorrow for Kinesi Aztecs. I'm sure we are gonna see them. He's gonna show us how it works, basically, even versus India. So yeah, I cannot wait. Who do we raid, by the way? Do we raid someone? Ezad, are you going on stream? Maybe I'm not sure. We are already winning someone. Kalina.
Yeah, it's better. It's already late. I don't know if I feel like streaming right now.
I can understand after a long series. Yeah,
I played enough for today actually. Okay, he already raided. Okay, guys, thank you very much for the interview and for the casting tonight. Kinoki, you did a lot of action today for the ESOC stuff. Thanks for that.
Fine.
And also to
Baron
you,
as well.
Baron. Yeah, so I was just adding that. Baron, for you producing and casting also. Thanks a lot for your effortment today.
Thank you for your great games today and giving us a lot of entertainment.
Yeah, I'm a bit sad that I kicked out SoldieR because you were such a SoldieR fan, but you're like you were always in the chat and hyping SoldieR and stuff, so I feel a bit bad about that.
No. We love the competition.
That's how the tourney goes. So
yes,
sorry.
No. Anyways, thank you very much. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
Thank you, Ezad.
And enjoy your rest. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.